Aloha, love pups, and welcome to Lost in Limbo. Everybody give a big thanks to Raven Star Games. Yay! They're the ones who gifted us with this demo code a week before the release. And if you guys want to check out the game and all that shenanigans for yourself, you see all these shiny links up here? I'm going to put those all in the description below. But it looks like the Kickstarter's not available yet because it's grayed out. That's okay. Let's bring up the content warnings. Content warnings. Violence, death, mild horror, body horror, mild jump scares, disturbing imagery, and flashing images. Please note, this game is rated 17 plus. Sounds like the perfect game for us, don't you guys think? Now let's go. I've been waiting for this game for ever now. Notice, this game contains flashing lights that may make it unsuitable for people with photosensitivity. Please go to configurations, transitions off for your safety. Oh, I forgot about this. We get to name ourselves. I want to be Althemia. What if you guys I can't change my last name? Oh yeah, I can. River's the default character. Leaving the name empty will assign the MC a default name. I go by Shiha. Let's continue. This can't be changed later. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's me. I think that's me. In my dreams, I see a black tower. Tarot reference? As in tarot cards tower? Is this a save button? Oh, it is. I click that. Aha! Ooh, I like that sound. I love the music so far. Okay. It has no beginning and no end. No doors and no windows. No past and no purpose. It was there before our kind took its first breath, and it will be there long after we take its last. It knows not of time or reason. It is greater than life and truer than death. Huh. Well, if it's truer than death, maybe it's not a tower reference to the Arcana tarot cards. I used to be afraid of it. Every time I closed my eyes, it was there, waiting, immobile and ever present. I often wondered what it wanted from me. As infinite as it was, it lacked a voice. My question remained unanswered night after night. Now, I know I should have listened more closely. It was a clear warning, one I was determined to ignore. Even if the answer had been right before me, would I have been willing to understand? Would I have been able to turn my back on what was dearest to me? Ooh. Holy stars, that's pretty. Yes, I do wonder, why am I telling you this now? Maybe even after everything, I still harbor love for you in my heart. You think you outsmarted me, don't you? What will come next is inevitable. You are only delaying what was written in the foundations of the universe long, long ago. This was bound to happen. You are meant to fail, and I am meant to succeed. So why do you insist on continuing this charade? Are you truly this desperate? Or have you finally gone mad? I think I've gone mad a long time ago, my guy. Just a smidgen mad, you know? I mean, we're all a little mad, right? I see. You think of yourself as special, don't you? The chosen one, the savior, the hero. I mean, I wouldn't say that. It must hurt knowing you are none of those things. It must make you lie awake at night knowing someone else now has what was once yours. Oh, okay. Well, what is crueler than having no place to go, but having no one to be? And yet, you say nothing. Even now, as you stand at the edge of the abyss, you refuse to so much as mumble a word. Well, what do you want me to say to that? You basically just said I was useless. I, kind sir, am not useless. I am awesome. You could beg for forgiveness, for help, but you won't. You want me to get on my knees and beg? Nah. I'm good. I ain't doing that. No way, Jose. Time is not on your side, betrayer. Betrayer? What did I do? You will soon have to face me. I will erode the hopes of those who denied me. I will feed the fear of the disloyal and the broken. And when they look to the sky begging for salvation, they will hope to see me. Whoa. And my wanderer? My dear wanderer will be the key to a new and glorious birth. Remember, betrayer, the Midnight Tower is not my prison. It is my fortress. Oh. Huh? I fell asleep. Is this my room? Is this my house? This is cool. I wiped a drool off my chin with the back of my hand. The lobby of the occult and esoteric shop is as empty as it was when we got here. The old clock marks more than an hour since Evie disappeared behind that door to get a tarot reading. No one has come in or out since. The cheap, whimsical playlist coming out of the speakers of the waiting room is the only company I have. And chances are, no one even knows I'm still waiting here. And yet the first sensation that takes over me, when the haze of sleep dissipates, is that of someone watching me. Who's watching me? It's been happening again recently. That buzzing in my nape, the disgusting tickle of 1,000 eyes digging in the back of my head, following me everywhere. That blasted tower again. The dream is getting longer with each passing day. More detailed. More permanent. Now it even haunts my sporadic naps. If I closed my eyes, what is crueler than having no place to go, but having no one to be? For as long as I can remember, this dream has been a part of my life. An infinite tower decomposing in the bleeding night sky. It's a cryptic dream typical of the hyper-imaginative mind of a kid. Something you let go of when you get older. But I didn't. It lingered until I stepped out of the Faybourne to live my own life. Then it disappeared, without a trace. But since I moved back 2 weeks ago, it's been visiting most nights again, as if it had been waiting for me to return. Sometimes I woke up from my dreamless sleep to wonder where the tower went. Now I can only wonder what's brought us together again. I can't say I'm surprised it's back, though. My mind has never been in a worse place than it is now. Jobless, broke, living back with my mom and grandmother in the old family house, waiting for my best friend to get tired of asking questions about her future to a stranger that allegedly has supernatural powers. And dealing with ominous dreams provoked by feelings of anxiety and dread. One therapist told me the tower may symbolize my regrets, my self-hatred, or my fear of an uncertain future. Another specialist had a different hypothesis. Having my grandmother constantly claiming the town is cursed may have been some effects on my brain as a kid. My mother definitely agreed. Based on my grandma's superstitious thinking, the longer I stay here, the more evil rubs on me. That means I'm cursed by now. Following that logic, and everyone else who lives here, you'd think they would notice if they were. Maybe if I believed in those kinds of things, it would bring some kind of relief. I could try to uncure myself, if that's possible. Uncurse myself. Cleanse, purify. I'm not sure what the word would be. A text from Evie, who should not be texting while she's getting her fortune read. Attached to the text is a poorly taken photo of what seems to be a bunch of rocks thrown on top of a round table. SFL. Save for later. I don't think you're supposed to sneak a photo of... Anyways. Yeah, nothing has changed. My lifelong best friend is still obsessed with the occult and is ecstatic to bring me along for a ride now that I'm back. My grandmother, who is close to 100 years but has the spirit of a 25-year-old, keeps insisting the town is cursed and wants me gone again. The sooner, the better. My mother is on the verge of having a fist fight with that very same grandmother if she dares to pull another one of her stunts to protect us from evil spirits. The only silver of normalcy I have in my life right now is my daily job hunting. Besides that, I've got nothing. At the end of the day, there's nothing in my mind but the gnawing fear of having made a mistake so far back in time, it's too late to fix it. A business card slips off of its neat stack on top of the table in front of me. A bunch of flashy flyers lay next to them. Faybourne is a dull little place, but it offers a stream of surprisingly affluent mystics, seers, and so on. This Master Lysander has been the talk of the town for a while. It looks like he's trying to make a brand for himself with his expensive costumes and flamboyant aesthetics straight out of a fantasy book for teenagers. Whoa. I put the business card back into place and pick up one of the flyers. Glitter falls from its pages and onto my lap when I open the thick, glossy fold-out paper. Damn, my 14-year-old self would have loved this. I still love glitter, what do you mean? Huh. A wandering mage seeking knowledge. And offering enlightenment. The solution to break the curse that falls on the city lies nowhere else but in my powerful mind. No way. This man also thinks the town is haunted? That makes two people and all of Faybourne, which isn't much, but it's weird enough. Haha. Or maybe every place he visits is haunted. Convenient, am I right, Master Lysander? You got... You know, you could give a girl a warning. Ah. I press the flyer against my chest. A door has opened with a rumbling thud, and a shadowy figure stands at the other side of the room. Even with their eyes obscured behind a veil, I can tell that they're looking right at me.
The reading can begin now.
What reading? With my friend? Weren't you already doing that? For a moment, I don't know if they're talking to me or if another customer has come in during my lapse in attention. It only takes a brief inspection to check there's no one else around, though it's just us. This way. Wait, I didn't. Wait. They gesture with their arm, holding the door wide open in clear invitation. I politely decline. Well, I'm waiting for a friend, actually. I didn't pay for a session. And they cocked their head to the side, as if to get a better look at me. Your friend booked 2 readings. Huh? Oh. They could have warned me. Okay, that sounds a bit like Evie. I'm happy to know she thinks of me, but at the same time, I wish she didn't feel like she has to cheer me up. She's already been doing a lot for me lately. I just hope it wasn't too expensive. My bank account isn't exactly thriving right now. It would be rude to say no if the session has already been organized. I don't know if I have the stomach to bear for another awkward session after last week's. What happened last week? What happened last week? I'll have to find out, I guess. I stand up from my seat and their smile broadens. As I follow them, I give a last glance to the door Evie disappeared behind. I'm sure I'll be done before she is anyway. Whoa, cool. Inside the room, the psychic stands in front of a bookshelf, their fingers hovering over the spines of the many books neatly tucked inside. It's a small place that barely has space to move around. The walls are cluttered in papers, posters, and other paraphernalia. The air is heavy, charged with different smells mixing together in a distinct perfume. Please, close the door and take a seat. I reluctantly look back at the waiting room. There's an odd pressure in my chest. I can't get rid of it. I shake my head. I've never been intimidated by places like this, but I'm not about to start now. I push the door until it's sealed, sending a flurry of some kind of sparkling powder from the door. Oof. Thank you. As I take my seat, the steer starts rummaging around. When they finally sit in front of me, they place a small notebook near the edge of the table. It's shabby to say the least. The faded cover still has some visible white lines, but I can't make any sense of the drawings they used to form. I'm assuming they take notes on their sessions there. Maybe this is some kind of roleplay thing to keep the magical ambiance up. It's kind of cute.
I have been waiting for you.
Huh? Me? You been waiting for me? My heart skips a beat. How do you know? They smile slowly. Maybe Evie booked this session under my name. Makes sense.
The one between told me about you. They knew you would come to me today.
Okay, maybe Evie didn't tell you? Evie, get me out of here. Evie! The one between. That's a new one. A mortar and a pestle join the book on the table, as well as a slim wooden box and an ink bottle with an expensive-looking brush seated on top. No need to be so surprised. You, more than anyone else, should be familiar with the ways of the occult. My face drops a bit, but I'm quick to cover it up. By the way their grin widens, I can tell I failed. There's no way they know about me or my family. They're surely only reciting a speech they use to impress every client that steps into this room. Discomfort worms its way into my chest, but inside it, there's the slightest spark of curiosity as the seer's veil slips back and her eyes glint through the darkness. Share your thoughts with me. Kind of want to decline, kind sir. My thoughts? The first thing crossing your mind. The key to getting acquainted with one's psyche lies in spontaneity.
Your mind, your inner self, knows more about what haunts you than you do yourself.
Was that a poem? Sounded kind of like a poem. That's surprisingly insightful. Wait, before we start, I have to warn you, I don't believe in this kind of thing. I don't mean to disrespect your work in the slightest, but you may be wasting your time with me. Their dazzling eyes flick down to the table before zeroing in on me again. You don't really believe that, do you, Miss Mele? There's a deliberately crafted balance inside you. You do not believe, but I can see you are quite sensitive to the ways the common folk consider unorthodox. Huh? There's a pointed pause as they tilt their head. Ah, yes, that makes sense. Your family's influence, yes? My mouth opens to ask, but their sly grin stops me. They know what I'm about to say, and I know what they would answer. The one between told me. Who is this one between? Why does he know so much about me? I bet he's that glowing guy for my drink. You must know, then, how the minds of a chosen few are prone to connecting with unusual places and forces. I can't stop from swallowing the lump in my throat. The air becomes stiff and dense around me, and the shadows behind their figures seem to elongate until I can make out the shape of the tower. Knowing my name and throwing baseless hints about my life is one thing, but even someone like me can admit this is crossing a very uncomfortable and inexplicable line. Their demeanor shifts from a slight caution to a veiled challenge, fingers lacing on the table. You see, it is easier to enlighten the unbelieving than it is to take devotion away from the faithful. I assume you're planning to enlighten me then? They only offer a curt laugh, laced with a tinge of satisfaction that makes my skin crawl. You are an interesting individual, Miss Mele. We both have our reasons to walk the paths we choose. That we do. Now, as much as I would be ecstatic to discuss this further with you, shall you indulge me? I am very interested in what that mind of yours is hiding. I don't think you want to know what's going on in my mind, kind sir. My mind's an interesting place. The first thing crossing my mind, huh? Right now, there's a bunch of things I could think about. What does the one between say about me? What can this one between tell you about me? If they know so much about me, surely you don't need to ask me. And they lean forward ever so slightly, and I find myself imitating them. They said you would pose a challenge, which I have already found out myself. Were you anyone else, I wouldn't have offered you my aid. But you truly are a special one. Fearless, confident. Life has tried to bend you to the ways of others, and still, you have prevailed. For a fleeting and heart-wrenching instant, we just look at each other. I could see it in the faint glitter of their eyes. They are carefully minding their words, lest something slip. It's just a tease, a taste of the extent of the knowledge they have of me. My. Some would think that you're flirting with me. And they laugh boisterous and carefree, breaking their carefully studied rule. Oh, I wonder. You're not here for love, however, are you? Definitely not. I'd say I'm here by pure chance. The one between doesn't believe in such a thing. Then why am I here? That you're here today before me, just like they predicted. It can be nothing if not matter of divine providence. I decide right here and now what's crossing my mind. Alright, color me interested. Tell me about this patron of yours. and I reach up to lower the veil over their face, but I catch the concealed darts at their tongue. My patron, the one between, they were once appointed as the watchtower of the universe. They ruled over a world akin to ours, where we committed sin after sin and strode away from the true meaning of life. The one between made sure their realm would never walk that path. There's a but somewhere. Staring at them, I could feel the words stuck in their throat as if they were mine, keeping me from breathing. Okay, Cancer, spit it out now. I should not talk about them lightly, however. Or not. My contract, I'm bound to share only what they give me permission to. In other words, Master Lysander hasn't really written down the one between story. And if you say something you shouldn't, you may get fired. Fuck. I didn't mean to say that out loud. Sorry, Yes, you could very well say so. Anyways. They were right about you. Care to share? They said you wouldn't have trouble speaking openly. That is very generous of your patron. I usually get mouthy instead. I'm afraid I would have to agree. The chuckle we shared thankfully dissipates the tension that lingers in the air. Without another word, they open the last page of the notebook and pick up a silky red ribbon resting in the back cover. Let us begin then. Begin? What has this been? Just a warm-up? Exactly. Okay. Under my vigilant stare, they tie one end of the ribbon around their wrist. They extend their hand to me next, leaving it on top of the table. Are you asking me to tie that to me too? It's calloused and full of scars. Some of them are faded, small and thin, while others coil like serpents from the heel of their palm into the depths of their tunic. These? I thought these were tattoos. These are scars? Huh. Your hand, please. Oh, yeah. Sorry. I hesitate. Something doesn't seem right with me. It hasn't for a while now, but how does this person know so much about my life? It's impossible. Do I know them from somewhere? Are they an acquaintance of my family that I don't know about? Not even a stalker would know about the intimate parts of my childhood. At least that's what I want to think. I can't say I believe any of their words, but the shadow of doubt is starting to settle in my chest. Worst case scenario, Evie has been scammed and these people are weirdos. But what if this really gives me some answers? Good question. You seem to be particularly interested in me. I cannot deny that. What do you win with this? If I stood up and left now, what would you lose? My patron would be disappointed. I don't expect to recruit you or convert you. I merely wish to give you insight, to give you the choice you've never been granted. Well, if I've never been granted it, I think there's a reason. Let's make a deal then. If I go through with this, you'll let me ask you as many questions as I want and you'll answer them. Their shoulders relax with a timid exhale.
I give you my word that after this whole ordeal is over, you will have the answers you seek.
Okay, I'm trusting you. Don't you lie to me. Good. Not that their word means anything, but I'll take it. For now. I place my hand on theirs, and to utter my disbelief, they flip it over. They don't seem interested in the lines of my palm. Instead, they tie the other end of the ribbon around my wrist with delicacy. and then dip the brush in the ink. As I do, I sneak my other hand into my pocket where my phone is. If something happens, I just have to press the power button 5 times. Then it's 10 seconds of countdown until emergency services are notified. I sound crazy. Nothing's going to happen. The seer stops before the tip of the brush can touch my skin, and their veil angles up as their eyes find mine. I give them permission with a curt nod. The bristles tickle my skin. My attention is pinned on the smoothness of their movements, following the black trail and the brush leaves behind. It's oddly fascinating. I thought I had seen everything. Oil, water riddles, ashes, needles. But this is new. What's this little timer? Hang on, I don't want to save. No, I don't want. What's the timer? Oh, it's a history! That's useful, because sometimes I accidentally click buttons. I close my eyes, focusing on the almost soothness sensation of the brush caressing me.
Yes, relax. Let your mind wander far, far away, to places you never believed you could go.
I nod. Their voice is so captivating, it's impossible not to sit back and breathe deeply, concentrating on the feeling of air filling my lungs and then leaving in a fluid exhale. My hand is left on top of the table as they draw theirs away. The wood pressing under my fingers throbs. On the black empty canvas that covers my eyes, I see something slithering up, high in the sky. The tower again. See it. Connect with it. The tower, it materializes before me, so alive I could reach out and touch it. There is a lonely path carved in the mountains, disappearing behind a thick curtain of fog. What do you want from me? What are you? Hold up now, Cancer. I did not arrange for my death now. I hear a metallic shing, raising goosebumps on my limbs. I become aware of the silence of the rumbling of something beneath my feet. There's that strange tickle on the back of my neck again, slowly taking the shape of a pair of eyes. Did he just stab me? Something pins my hand to the table. My hand. He stabbed me. The pain doesn't strike right away. Fear does. What? Wait, why? The blade of a knife has stabbed through my palm, digging deep into the wood. Blood seeps through the grooves and stains them red. I can't breathe. My sweaty thumb slips away from my phone. I don't know how many times I manage to press the button before my body goes numb. The whole room starts to spin, speeding up with each passing second. I slump over the table, wailing, my throat constricted around my vocal cords. Hands slither around my limbs, sharp nails digging into my skin, pressing me down against the freezing wood.
Please don't be scared.
I don't blink when I raise my eyes to the seers, still sitting calmly in front of me. They smile at me through the shadows of their veil, placing their hand on top of mine. I shudder at the cold touch. They're bleeding too. And our blood mixes in an indistinguishable crimson stream.
We all have to play our part in this.
Their face draws close to mine, but I can't recoil. I can't fight this agony turning my limbs to stone.
I have played mine, and now it's time for you to play yours.
I didn't agree to this. They raise their fingers to my hair, brushing it off my face. Fight. Fight. Fight, Wanderer. Fight! If you want to live, fight! Fight! Oh, look at all the fights. I wonder which one I'm going to click on. I click this one at the top. Ah! A strength that should not be within me rushes through my veins. Inhuman and raw. My free hand curls around the handles of the knife at a dizzying speed. I yank the blade out of my hand, drawing an arc through the air with my bubbling blood. The knife's edge glide across the seer's face. Their flesh resists the blade, skin and muscles pushing back against the grip to no use. Okay, this escalated real quickly. Everything breaks. Like red ribbons carried by the wind, the seer's face explodes in thin strips of meat and blood.
No. No! This can't be happening!
You tried to kill me!
This was not the deal!
It was the deal now. I ain't dying tonight. The last thing I see before white pierces my eyes is the seer's face twisting beyond recognition as the flesh around their mouth tears with a terrifying sound. A violent gust of wind pushes me back against the chair. The furniture is lifted into the air, flying around like sheets of paper, and I cling to the knife for dear life. The chair gives in. Gravity pulls me down at a speed that flips my stomach over. It burns. Flames lick my skin, burning past my clothes and flesh until they reach bone. I try to open my eyes, only to screw them shut again with a wail, afraid they'll turn into ashes like the rest of me. I can't hear anything but a ringing in my brain. I don't know if my voice is reaching anyone as I scream for help. I crash into something. The impact racks my bones and sends a blunt wave of pain through me, stealing what was left of my breath. My ribs break one after the other, like the keys of a piano being violently played. My charred skin comes apart until my raw flesh is in the open, and a raging gale carrying me transforms into a million needles pricking every spot they can reach. Then, there's just silence. Around me and inside me, the sensation of my bones shattering into splinters feels like soft droplets of rain caressing my body. So, this must be it. This must be what dying feels like. With an agonizing plague of thoughts tearing my brain apart, there's a clear revelation that leaves no emotion behind. I'm going to die. Awaken, my wanderer. Pretty. I see the night sky. Pearlescent tears glint in the vast darkness of the world. Above and below, as far as the eye can see. The soft hands of the void brush my hair away from my face and brace the soles of my feet. I'm standing. Or so I think. I could see my bones peeking through the sliced and scorched meat my body once was. And I feel nothing. You are here, but you are not. I'm not moving, but I'm looking around. There is no sense of direction. Left and right merge with up and down, and the only points of reference I have are my useless limbs. You are not complete. Yeah, I kind of got burnt alive. Something worn touches my hand. When I look down, there's nothing but the pitiful sight of the thin bones that remain attached to my arm. It's not my body that's being touched. It's me. This is most disheartening. I had hoped you would. Yes, I had hoped that is all I could do. Do not fear, my dear wanderer. I will take care of you. All of them have failed me. All of them. But you won't. You won't fail me. Gentle fingers caress my cheeks, soothing to my aching skin. The words tickle my brain, begging to be released. I won't fail you. Say it. Manifest it. Feel it in the depths of your soul. Oh, I can't move my mouse. What is the... Oh, no. Oh, I want to try. I want to try to resist. I'm going to try. I'm going to try. Hang on. I can do this. I just got it. Okay. I got it. I want to... Come on. Just go... Dang it. I didn't do it. I tried. I know. You are my dear, dear wanderer after all. Her last beacon of hope, the one that carries my will. A kiss falls on my forehead. The world lays me down ever so gently, and in its navel, brimming with life, I am left to rest. I'm cradled in vaporous waves at a shore that is yet to heal from the storm. But one day, it will heal. And one day, it will heal. And it will be glorious. This will be my parting gift to you. Shooting stars descended from above, sinking into the empty husk that I am. Inside me, they stretch and twist, sewing me back together, stitch by stitch. Then, there is light. It's the magic man! My eyelids still sickly over my unfinished and hollow eyes, part to reveal a shining silhouette. The world groans with animosity, with hatred. The sky turns red for the briefest of instants before it settles back into a deeper blue. Huh. I don't think the world likes you, kind sir. What did you do to the world? You never give up, do you? Breaking into my sacred chest, taking my wanderer away from me. Your cruelty knows no limits. A gas tears through my body as life is breathed into me once more. The pain is numbing and suffocating, but there is no chest for me to clutch yet. Our time together comes to an end. I will see you soon, my dear wanderer. I will see you soon. Hello, I live. Where the fuck am I? My eyes snap open with a strength that sends a painful jolt directly into my brain. A dream? It all was... Fuck. It's dark. The red and black dots burned into my corneas mixed with the tears glazing over my eyes, making it difficult to focus on what's in front of me. I catch the faint chant of crickets in the distance. My skin shivers as I look at the clogged sky. It's freezing. Mud squelches under my weight as I prop myself up on my elbows, coughing and spitting the patches of grass from my mouth. I wipe away the dirt on my face. I can read. I swear I can read, guys. My lungs are burning. Ah! Suddenly, every sensation crashes into me at once. I roll up onto my back, panting erratically for air, placing a hand on my aching stomach. Everything. It burns. I ball my hands into fists, only to be rewarded with a wave of sharp, white, hot pain. I try to gulp down every breath, but the air gets caught between my wheezing ribs. Under my skin, something's moving. Ew. I claw at my arms, at my throat, trying to tear off the lumps my nails run into. The pain. I can't. I collapse on my side. Blades of grass scratch my sizzling skin. A single drop of rain falls on my forehead. It's fine, Althemia. You'll be fine. Clenching my jaw tight, I catch one breath after the other. I don't know how long I wait before the agony tearing me apart finally ebbs away. The first coherent sensation that takes over me is the smell of wet grass and dirt. I sit up. The sudden motion summons black dots in my vision, but I force myself to my feet. There's nothing broken that I can see or feel at first sight. My skin seems to be unmarred when I raise my shirt to examine myself. Everything is in order. The stars healed me? What the hell was that? There's not a single mark showing what happened to my body anywhere. It's as if I imagined it all. I take in my surroundings. Trees stand as far as the eye can see. The hill I seem to be on top of slinks down and back up, spreading into endless mountains. My head. The sudden thrum of pain calls my attention back to my body. I look down, gasping at the sight of blood dripping down my forearm beneath a thick layer of mud. The memories string forth as if from an opened faucet. Did they drug me? Was I hallucinating? My heart sinks all the way to my stomach when a single chilling word crosses my mind. Kidnapped. That seer clearly knew about me. I remember talking with them. I remember the pain in my hand and the adrenaline surging through my veins. But then... nothing. I can't recall a single thing after that. There's definitely something wrong with my body. They did something to me. But what? My phone. I have to check my phone. Thankfully, it's still in my pocket. The clock marks 11:26. Evie's appointment was at 10 o'clock. There's no signal at all. No internet connection either. But I dial Evie's number anyway. Alright. Okay. I'll call the emergency number. Fuck. Come on! Seriously? I can't call nobody? Where am I? There should be a network tower somewhere. Why can't I even reach the fucking emergency line? When did they attack EV2? Was the appointment a trap? I have to do something. I can't just wait here. The moon peeks over the clouds. Its pale light bouncing off of something buried in the mud. There, covered in blood, lies the knife. I cut them, didn't I? I just cut that person's face. I've never held a knife in my hands with the purpose of hurting someone or defending myself. As I grab it now, I don't feel that inhuman strength from before, but an unsettling pressure in my chest. It may come in handy if I have to defend myself. Someone might come back to finish the job. Which is terrifying to think about. Let's get a move on. Jeez, ooh. I don't think I'm on Earth. Or in the same dimension that I was in. But the sky is really pretty. Balancing the knife between my fingers, I fit my phone on my palm. Eyes trained on the empty signal bar as I start to march forward. There has to be a network tower somewhere, or a road I can get to. I take another deep breath that proves more difficult than the last as I watch my surroundings. There's some kind of band tied around the trees, which means people must be living nearby. My eyes are drawn to the candles burning at the foot of a carved rock. Some of the wax is almost intact, which means they can't have been lit too long ago. This could be a pilgrimage route or a camping zone. Maybe these rocks are some kind of landmark. The flapping of wings breaks the silence. A group of crows sits on a branch right above my head, tilting their beaks at me. It's Halloween eagles, guys. I speed up, moving my phone around to catch even a small bar of signal. The crows follow me, bouncing from tree to tree, trying to guess where I might be going. I guess it's better to travel with a pack of crows than it is to travel alone, even if a pack of them is called a murder. If only I knew where to begin with. Fuck, I'm not close to Faybourne at all. Am I? Huh? A reddish light flickers in the forest below, standing out amongst the dark green of the landscape. Oh, that's not what I meant to click. Is this what they're talking about? It's a fire. Oh, I see it. I don't know how to make the text box go away, but it's right there. It's a fire. There's someone down there. I'm saved. I raise my eyes to the sky as relief washes over me. The thick clouds disperse to unveil the moon, as if she wanted to give me her blessing. I have never seen the moon look so big. It shines so brightly it illuminates the whole forest like a... That is... But I... No, wait a second. Whatever they did to me, whatever's going on, it's just in my head. Nothing else. No. Something's wrong here. My heart starts pounding loudly in my ears. The tower is there, just like in my dreams, standing infinitely tall right before my eyes. Something dark emerges from its body, dissipating into the air like a thick mist. It exists. The tower is real. Magnificent, isn't it? Ow! A sharp flash of pain drills inside of my skull. The light of the moon becomes unbearable, and I turn away, clutching my forehead. What the hell did they do to me? Frigid sweat rolls down my spine. There's a suffocating pain in my chest. I need to find help. Soon. I glance back at the fire, trying not to let the massive tower on the horizon drag my attention away. There's definitely someone down there, but I don't know if my body will hold out long enough. We'll keep walking towards the fire. No, I'm almost there. I can't give up now. I've gotten this far. Just a bit more. Just enough to reach that fire. It could be a shelter, some teenagers partying in secret, a family having a camping night. All of those sound better than turning away from the tower and taking my chances in the dark. Whatever that thing is, whatever is happening, it has a logical explanation. With that thought in mind, I keep walking. The murmur of the wind is my single companion. At least the strange wooden lamps framing the path offer an adequate source of light. What was that? I look around, wary of any movement or sound, but after a couple seconds of holding my breath, nothing happens. There's a strange chill in the air, and now that I pay attention, there's not a sound to be heard. I freeze. A long shadow stretches up amongst the jagged trunks, disappearing behind the tower branches of trees. Oh, the lower branches of trees. There's a figure standing at its end, remaining completely still. I can't see their face, but they're completely clad in black. Their clothes tight against their skin. Their head begins to swivel from left to right, searching for something. Searching for someone. They found me. But I didn't hear anyone following me. No, they would have jumped me by now if they had noticed me. Right? Whispers come from where the stranger lingers. A sharp ray of moonlight pierces through the trees, bathing them in light. Oh, what the fuck is that? That ain't human. That's for sure. What? What the hell is that? I grip the handle of the knife with all my strength, taking a step back. The hairs on my arms stand on end as I take the vicious, putrid flesh of the creature before me. Its skin sizzles with the light brushes his arm, long and knotted together like rotten chunks of meat. Ew. One sprouts after the other from a pool of mangled bodies, keeping it standing. Oh, nope, nope, nope. Turn around, turn around. We going. Bye. I slam a hand over my mouth to stifle a whimper. A familiar metallic stench reaches my nostrils, and I press my lips together in a poor attempt to keep the blood on my hand from seeping into my mouth. Althemia? A retch turns my stomach upside down. This is a nightmare. This can only be a nightmare. The creature doesn't move. Its elongated head keeps pivoting from one side to the other like a watchtower. I don't know what Every fiber of my being is set on fire. What the hell is that? No. No, no. The air turns thick and hot. I gasp for a breath, then for another, my heart picking up speed at a ragged pace. Althemia, find the campfire. The campfire. Someone help me! I don't realize I'm running until the bushes and branches start scratching my skin as I push myself through them. Every step echoes in my head, loud and painful. I need to get out of here. You can stay back there. I duck through the trees. The mud becomes heavy and sticky under my feet, but I keep going. The ripples of smoke come closer, and so does the tower. Keep going. Keep going. Ah! My leg sinks into the soil, all the way up to my hip. I try to yank it loose, bending over and pulling with all my strength, but it doesn't budge. Fuck! Quicksand! No, no, please, come on! A hand sprouts out of the fleshy ground. It coils around my free ankle, lumpy fingers creeping up my skin until they reach my calf. No! Another takes hold of my elbow, pulling me down. My cheek presses against the putrid mud. The joints on my arms and legs stretch to a painful limit that has me crying out. My mouth tastes like dirt and iron. Something heavy falls on my back. The last breath of air I take is plagued by a rotten and thick liquid that pools in the back of my throat. Althemia. Althemia. I'm sinking. I'm being dragged down. Down. And then nothing. Did I just die? Again? Did I just die again? This was not supposed to happen. Why did you do that? Tell me. You are smarter than that. Stronger than that. Aren't you? I refuse to believe I was wrong about you. You are not done. We are not done, my wanderer. You shall rise again, but beware. I will not be there to snatch you from the great void's hands forever. Awaken, my wanderer, and this time, do it for good. Look, I wasn't trying to die now. Huh? What was I doing? The forest around me slowly comes back to life. There's a tingle on my fingertips and a foul taste in my mouth. Ugh, mud. Great. Being dark rhetorically and literally, it seems. The tower is still there, waving its inevitable hands at me. The feeling of urgency beating somewhere inside me creeps up to the forefront of my senses. Okay, I know. Yeah, I was running away from whatever the hell this is. Well, you know, I was walking to the fire, but I guess we're going back downhill now. You know what? I'll just go back. I can't. If I look at it, then... Never mind. The roaring echo of thunder marks the first step I take back downhill. The lightning bolt could have struck me, igniting my body back to life, but I know what's driving me is nothing else but fear. I grip the knife harder, jogging as steadily as I can. What was a challenging climb before now turns into a maddening descent that numbs my senses. Damn it! My feet get tangled, catapulting my body forward. I tilt my shoulder to brace my fall, and I skid through the mud until my head bumps the giant root of a tree. Before I know it, I'm mustering all the strength left in me to stand back up. There must be a road at the bottom of the hill, right? Maybe I'll be lucky and find one before I have to go all the way down. Just keep going. Keep go. What did you say? Stop it. And then I'm sure I stop. A few feet away from me, someone stands completely. No! It's back! I'm saved. I'm saved! It's gonna be that creepy creature again, ain't it? I'll test you, game. Heart bolting in my chest, I resume my running, this time with purpose. Hey! Hey! Over here! Please. I knew it! I knew it! Me. The air freezes, becoming trapped in time. What stands in front of me is made of the fabric of nightmares, of the threads holding every scrap of madness in this world together. Its head swivels all the way back to face me, poisoned flesh squelching with a twist of its misshapen neck. It holds itself like a scared little kid, and a moany gurgle emerges from a mouth brimming with teeth. Althemia, Althemia. Man, it's got 2 sets of teeth. Well, one right there, one like there. I guess a FNAF exoskeleton. We screwed. It's gonna, and it has teeth right there. This ain't gonna eat me. What? Althemia. Its body shudders. Its many legs sewn together in the middle cause it to trip when it tries to take a step towards me. No, those are not legs. I watch as it struggles to get back up, standing tall on a pile of disfigured bodies. Mud covers its disgustingly tender skin, and it wails my name once more. The cold clings to the tips of my fingers, biting the back of my head, curling around my ears. Nope, run, 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 run. It pounces on me in the blink of an eye, putrid jaws wide open. I throw myself to the ground with all my strength. A bone-chilling wail brushes past my ears. Its body hits the mud, missing my head by an inch. I run. I don't care about the painful burn in my legs as I race downhill without looking back. Around me, every inch of the forest melts into a senseless blur. A harrowing screech pierces the night. It's following me. It's following me. Don't look back. Don't look back. Just keep running. Keep running. Ow! I crash into something with enough force to knock the air out of my lungs. The sky spins as I'm pushed back. Then it abruptly stops. The moon stills high in the clouds. A hand closes around my wrist and pulls me upright before I had the chance to hit the ground.
Ooh, gotcha.
Hi. Oh my god, it's a human. Oh my god. Well, maybe an elf. I can't tell what you are. I'm so happy. A strong arm sneaks around my waist, pulling me against a solid body. My hands move up to brace myself against it, and when I tilt my head back, still disoriented, there's a man looking down at me with a smile.
You sure are a quick one, ain't you? Whew, took me a while to catch up.
You didn't see that? You didn't see the thing? Huh? I open my mouth to say something, but only a whine makes it out. The thing, it's coming. I cling to the man, trying to warn him with my eyes.
Oh.
He seems confused for a moment, but then his lips pull back into an easy smirk, and he pats my head with a familiarity that feels entirely too strange to me. It's comforting somehow. I didn't realize how scared I really was until now.
Aw, poor bunny. Don't worry your pretty little head about it.
What do you mean don't worry about the thing chasing me? It's coming! Before I dare to say anything else, a scream erupts from the shadows. My muscles tense, and I unconsciously shift closer to the man, feeling his laugh rumbling through my bones. You're safe with me. It's just a little guy. That's just a little guy. That creepy thing was saying my name. His arms curl around my shoulders, but I quickly push him away enough to look at his face. What? Are you crazy? Well, he has the battle scars. Let's trust a stranger. Let's trust a stranger, me please. Dashing through the trees, the monster hurtles towards us. Its mouth parts open to let out another shriek, and I instinctively scream in reply, squeezing my eyes shut. A gust of wind almost throws me off balance, but the man's arms tighten around me protectively, keeping me steady. I shield my face against his shoulder and hold on tight as the storm whips my skin. It's all right. Nothing to be scared of. I slowly open my eyes again. He's smiling at me, his hand moving up to tousle my hair. See? A bit ugly, but nothing you can't handle. I turn around, heart beating in the back of my throat. Ah! I jump back with a loud gasp, stumbling against a man's chest. They ain't that dangerous when alone. A pack, though, that's something else. The creature remains immobile, floating in midair. Its many arms are stretched towards us, mouth open in a pained wail as it helplessly tries to shake off whatever is keeping it frozen in time. It oozes something thick and oily that detaches from its body and stains the grass underneath. Ew! It slowly disintegrates, then quickly regenerates. The sight teases a spot in the darkest corner of my mind. Let's get rid of this one, I look at him. There's not a sliver of fear in his face. The wind returns in force, and I grunt, protecting my face with my arms. Are you a mage? The beast chokes on a pained scream, and birds in the trees nearby fly away at the spine-chilling sound. Ugh. I peek through my hands, watching as the monster crashes against a tree, and then another, and another, and another. Yeah, that's what you get for messing with me. The deafening noise of exploding wood muffles the creature's voice as the fog in distance swallows it. Silence falls over the entire forest. I lower my arms, taking in the sight of the scene before me. The trees in the line of fire are barely standing, teetering on what little remains of their trunks. Problem solved. Hey, you can carry me, right? Because I'm about to faint. I'm about to go. Bleh. Okay, I'm alive again. We good? Everything good? No, I'm still here. See, wasn't that scary, was it? A grip pushes at his cheekbones, showing all his teeth. His incisors are slightly pointy, and only now do I realize how much he towers over me. He's huge! Massive, even. I swallow as I crane my neck back to look directly at his single beaming eye. Thanks. No big deal. Happy I got here in time. I smile weakly at him, nothing but politeness. I have too many questions. So many I can't count them all. And yet only 2 slip through my lips. Where are we? Are you from around here? His smile crumbles. He crosses his arms over his chest, a thoughtful furrow on his brow.
Well, this is, the woods beyond, which is bad. We shouldn't be here.
The woods beyond? Aha! Did you just make that up? No, of course not. He rubs the side of his neck, eyes surveying the forest around us, searching for something. Well, this is awkward. I barely overhear him as he mumbles to himself, but I have to agree wholeheartedly. Are you lost too? Is that it? He makes a weird face, as if the thought of him getting lost were something alien to even suggest. Oh, not at all. This is just hard to explain. I'm not an expert or anything. I set my lips into a thin line. The adrenaline is starting to dissipate, leaving me lightheaded and exhausted. The closest city, a landmark, a reference point, any information would be useful, except for a made-up name like the woods beyond. I'm sure he could be a bit more helpful if he wanted to. He re-entices. His reticence is strange. Suspicious, I take a step back away from him, marking some pointed distance between us. Even if he sort of saved my life just now, that doesn't mean he... Wait, he saved my life. He wasn't afraid of the thing. Wait, what the hell was that? What was what? That thing. The thing that attacked us.
Huh.
Don't think too much about it, alright? What is that supposed to mean? What the hell is going on? What's with this headache? I squeeze my eyes shut, trying to clear my mind. There's a loud murmur in the back of my head, trying to push itself forward. Invisible claws close around my skull, sending pain shooting through my bones as they tighten their clutch.
Hey!
Hey, you alright? No, most definitely not alright. My heart hammers against my chest, and my stomach churns, the little food still in it, forcing me to slap a hand over my mouth. I cough hard, and something sticky coats my lips. I gasp, pulling a hand away from my face. There's a lump of a vicious and purulent substance sitting on my palm, mingling with my blood. The knife wound in my palm, now red and black, is dirtied with mud and specks of grass. Damn it. An acidic tingle runs down my arm, pulling at the wound. My teeth grind together to stop a heave from leaving my throat. I can't. The pain. Can you hear me? What's going on? His hand is hot on my back. His voice rings loud in my ears, piercing my brain and joining the whispers already torturing it.
No.
Hey, look at me. What can I do? Help. I can only whimper back. My knees give way until I have to crouch down. His calmness reaches out to me like a friendly hand. He sits on his haunches in front of me, bouncing on the balls of his feet for a moment. I raise my eyes to meet his own, giving him my slight approval. You're going to be fine. Focus on my voice, will you? I let the gruff but gentle drawl of his voice wrap around me, closing my eyes as a shuddering breath escapes me. I'm going to take your hand now. Sound good? I nod, stretching out my arm. His fingers are long, his palm wide and slightly calloused. He covers my good hand completely, giving it a firm squeeze. I breathe out shakily. He's so warm. You're gonna be fine. I'll get you out of here. For now, we're gonna breathe together. Follow my lead. I used to do that with Evie back in high school. I know this. I can do this. Yes. My voice sounds pathetic, weak, but he smiles. Let's go. He breathes in, then out. I had a sudden urge to chuckle at the rough sound he makes. I steady myself and follow him, gripping his hand hard. I focus on my body, on my throbbing pulse, on the ground I'm sitting on my heart beating strongly where our hands meet. I run away from the insistent murmur grazing the nape of my neck, from the tendrils digging into my brain. I let the air fill my lungs completely until my chest is tight, and then release it when he does. That's it. Deep breaths. All the way to your Kelly belly. I choke on a bark of laughter, opening my eyes to look at him. He gently rubs the back of my hand with his thumb. What the hell is that? No talking aloud, only breathing. I obey begrudgingly, closing my eyes again. The dread knotting my chest subdues. My muscles relax. My body is heavy, as if I were back on my bed. Too comfortable to move. The air flows through me with ease now, and I cling to the feeling of security it gives me. I'm in control once again.
Yeah.
That's it. You've got this. I shake my head as my eyes open once more to his smirk. It comes so easy to him, so carefree, so simple. I'm happy I'm not alone. You have a strong grip, don't you? Ouch. Hey, hey, hey. I'm crushing his fingers between mine, twisting them in positions that don't look too comfortable. And yet I'm frankly sure he's just teasing me by the way the corner of his lips twitch when I release him. I let go, mumbling an apology under my breath. He shakes his head in disregard, raising his fist up to me. Well done. I can't stop a smile from climbing up my face. I knock my fist against his. Aww. Now, let's take a good look at you. I want to save right here. What's this? Oh, that's the load. What's this? Ooh. Oh, I can have the text big? I didn't know that. I was so ready to get into the game, I didn't pay attention to a lot of this stuff. Whoopsies. He winks at me, producing a handkerchief from the sleeve of his tunic.
Ah, here. Let me clean that pretty face of yours.
Okay. I chuckle as he reaches down to my chin, rubbing the soft cloth against my skin and swiping it over my lips. I let him work in silence, watching as he scrunches his brow in concentration. For a moment, I forget it's blood that he's cleaning off my face. I just become absorbed in the golden hue of his eye and the little wrinkles around his lashes. There's a familiar warmth about him that puts me at ease. Then the handkerchief gets stuck on my right cheek. Something tugs at my peach fuzz and I groan. Sorry, you have a bit of... He scrubbed with a little more strength, but I don't exactly feel it. There must be a thick patch of mud there. Because it takes a while for the handkerchief to make contact. Why is he smirking like that? Are you having fun?
Yeah.
Lots, can't you tell? Oh, I can tell.
As cute as that smile is, you don't want to be eating mud, right? Well, close your mouth.
Fine. So you are that kind of guy.
Huh.
I don't know what you're talking about. When he seems satisfied, he pulls away, and I catch a glimpse of something jet black and shiny laying between the folds of the cloth. I feel the same something on my hand, gurgling and drying out. Clenching my teeth, I give my fingers a quick shake, but it only seems to cling to my skin even harder. I can only hope it'll flake off later. There. Much better. Looking pretty good if I do say so myself. Another wink comes my way. At least, I think it's a wink. I offer him a friendly enough snort in return. I hope so. He folds the handkerchief and stows it in his tunic, stretching a hand out to me. I take it, yelping when he almost sends me flying against his chest the moment he pulls me to my feet. Whoa. Oops. Sorry. It's fine. Thanks. What's your name?
Amon. The name's Amon.
Yeah.
Your service.
Althemia. Nice to meet you, even in these circumstances.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, not ideal, The hand he keeps on my shoulder anchors me to the ground. I have a strange and absolutely uncalled for need to lean closer to him. I don't understand how he's so warm with only that coat draped around his shoulders. Maybe it's just that I'm freezing. With a shudder, I raise my head to eye him. By the way, can you... Hey, Mom. Hey, Mom, we need to go. Hey, Mom. The bushes around us rustle, silencing me. I tell the sound of footsteps apart from the howling of the wind. Vivi! Vivi, good. He beams directly in the myriad of trees and leaves shielding the darkness. I try to make out what he's seeing, but all my eyes catches dense fog and waving branches. Please tell me Vivi's good. Then someone emerges from the shadows, announced by their pants and groans. A lean man whose face is obscured by a heavy hood leans against a nearby tree. Finally!
Finally!
Oh.
My legs.
They push themselves out from the row of trunks. Something in my brain clicks when the moon lights up their form. I'm reminded of the seer, of the mysterious aura around them. Vivi, damn, you took your time. I had to fight off a voidy, you know.
This is your fault. You ran off by yourself without a warning. I'm not as fast as...
Yeah.
Yeah, look what I found. Hi. The newcomer brushes away the leaves clinging to his cloak, taking their hood off at once. A pair of venomous green eyes fall on me, unamused, cold, regarding me from head to toe before flickering back to Amon. Amon, I don't think Vivi likes me. Is this it?
Uh-huh.
Smells human to me. You're the expert. You have never smelled a human. That you know of? Right. Sorry to interrupt, but I shake my bloody hand in the air. I'm hurt. Silence, human. You only speak when spoken to.
Hey now.
Vivi! I'm just gonna stay behind him on. I blink, stunned for a moment. I think I've imagined it, but they keep their eyes trained onto mine with raw disgust. I find myself at a loss for words. Yep, gotta stay behind him on. I've had dirty looks thrown my way before. But they were nothing compared to this. His people shrink until they are as thin as needles, and I can only think of a viper ready to sink its fangs into me.
We do not have time for this nonsense. All of the circles have been summoned.
Yeah. All of them? Yes, perhaps the sudden breaking of one of the most critical and universal rules of our existence is not an emergency for you, but it is for the rest of us.
Huh.
I mean, it doesn't look that deep to me. I can tell. I glance between them, mouth still parted like a fish gasping for air. Right, as much as I'm thankful to you, Amon, if you could just, I mean, I'm sure you two will have time to catch up after I'm taken care of. Yeah, Bunny, this is Vivi, my little sibling. They're a bit rough around the edges, but they're a good kid. Did he completely ignore me? Wait, what did you just call me?
It's Lord Envy, if you must address me.
Okay. But enough frivolities. There is no time to lose. You are coming with us if you value your life. In silence. Not a suggestion, I see. Okay, no. I'm not going anywhere until you tell me where I am and who you are. And what do you mean? Are you threatening me? I'm merely warning you. If you look around, you'll most likely understand that you are not exactly in a field of roses. I can tell. Thank you. Can you now? I clench my fists as a wave of anger runs through me. They're insulting me, right to my face, as casually as if they were discussing the weather. Ugh. All right, Althemia, just breathe. You are better than this. Don't give them the pleasure of knowing they've rattled you. I exhale shakily, every nerve on my body jittering. Listen, I just want to go home, or to the hospital, or to a police station. Just point me in the right direction and I will leave you alone. Both of them share a glance, one I can't quite read. Please? I'm starting to get impatient. It can be so hard to just tell me where I can go to get help. Which means maybe they're not as harmless as they want to appear. Well, I'm on at least. This envy person is definitely not nice in appearance either. It's, a little bit complicated, as I told you before. He scratches the back of his head, then his chin. Envy merely clicks their tongue. There's no such thing as a police station here. I scrunch my face up at their disdain. Okay, can I borrow your phone then, please? I'm starting to believe they don't want me to leave, and it's unsettling at best. We don't have those here. I nail my eyes into his like a pair of stakes. He's sweating. Sure. Not suspicious at all. Just, who the hell are you two? Taking a few steps back, the woods suddenly seem to close in around me. It's only now that the situation I'm in starts to really sink in. I'm on the verge of fainting before two strangers that don't look too keen on helping me. I'll go scout the area. Join me on the bridge when you're done here, or not. Without another word, they leave. When their steps become muted by the distance, a choking silence is the only thing left behind. Amon sighs. No need to be scared, I swear. We ain't here to hurt you. But you're not here to help me either. Is that it? Yes, I'm here to help you. Both of us are, really. Come on, this way. I'll show you, and hopefully that will clear things up. Where are we going exactly? To safety. Sounds good enough?
No.
I promise, I'm on your side. The sooner we get out of here, the better, alright? Alright. Lead on. I'll follow. Relief washes over his face, but it only makes my nerves flare. Spinning on his heels, he beckons me with a wave of his hand. With an exhausted exhale, I oblige. I keep my distance as I trudge after him, trying to be wary of my surroundings. I'm beat. We're nearly on top of the hill, I think. The night and the low clouds around the woods now hide the vast expanse of trees stretching towards the horizon. We don't walk for too much longer before Amon comes to a stop. Whoa. Careful. My foot kicks a stray rock, catapulting it into another muddy descent. The fog has gotten so thick I can barely see anything. Next to me, Amon raises his arms and drives a wide arc in the air. The thick mist curls and glides away from him, retreating upward until it's nothing but a sheer veil of dew. Cool. My eyes follow the edge of a long bridge piercing the fog and leading to what looks like a small mountain. A tall silhouette stretches into the sky, illuminated by the occasional flash of lightning. Thunder comes from a few beats after, a murmur that marks the distance between us and the storm. There, among the raging clouds, stands a building with a soaring tower that shifts into a gargantuan spiral. It looks like a cathedral, looming over the forest with an inanimate intimidation. The raspy clear of his throat startles me as Amon steps forward, waving his arm before him, as if to show off the view.
Welcome to Limbo, the realm between. Our beloved home, prosperous land of the blessed ones.
Blessed ones?
The realm between what, you ask? That's not important right now.
Okay.
But it sounds kinda cool, right?
I mean, I guess. The atmosphere looks cool and the lights are pretty. The what? No, wait. I've heard that before. The one between and the realm between? So they were telling the truth?
Huh.
That's sort of a slogan. Don't worry about it. My eyes are pinned on the castle carved in the night sky. Bits and pieces of my conversation with the seer, fragments in their voice and their face flash into my mind. No. This is... If you don't have any more unnecessary questions, we can go back to the Silver Spire. They appear from thin air, arms hidden beneath their long cloak. There's a slight tremor in their shoulders and beads of sweat rolling down their temples. Vivi, you alright? I opened a rift between the watchtowers and the bridge. It's too dangerous to go on foot. We should make haste before we're found. What? You didn't have to. That headache again. Fine. Listen, we have to go now. Don't go. You know the silly guy from before? There's more of them around, and they're bad when they're together. Like, real bad. That big castle over there is where we're going. Our dad lives there. He will help you, alright? Amon's hand curls around mine, its weight forcing my skin to creep up in painful goosebumps. There's panic in his grip. The idea of running away crosses my mind, but my feet are glued to the ground, my head clouded over by a growing haze. Don't go, my wanderer. Come to me. No, 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 no. Don't go, Althemia. Don't, Help. They want to take you away from me. Don't let them. They're here. Fucking hell. Grab her. The tower's influence is starting to settle. What? I'm not going to grab her. Then let her die. Grab me? I glanced over Amon's heavy build. Maybe I could outrun him. No, how could I? I can barely stand straight. I'm only on my feet out of sheer force of will. Come to me, my wanderer. Do not fall for their trap. Oh no. No need to be scared. Don't make that face. Amon. I know. His grasp tightens around my arm. I need to get out of here. I need to get out of here now. I don't want to run from him. I don't think hitting him will do anything. Oh! My saves! I got another page though. I can't let the opportunity go to waste. Taking advantage of his turn back, I punch him square in the jaw, pushing him away from me. That hurts! I turn on my heels and dash through the forest, my heart beating painfully in my soon-to-be bruised knuckle. I faint past trees and rocks, air scorching my lungs as I take rapid breaths to feed my exhausted body. If I stop running, I'm done. Either I pass out or I get caught. I don't even know if they're following me. I can't hear anything besides the crunching of leaves under my shoes. Don't look back. Just look forward. Just run forward. Follow my voice, my wanderer. Come to me. The forest is just a blur of green and black as I do my best to keep my feet moving. Ah! I yank on the back of my neck, making my heels dig into the soil. I skid through it before my muscles grind to a halt. I'm bent backwards, bones cracking as my spine arches to its limit and a painful zap runs down to my toes. The thought is crystal clear in my mind. Move. Run. But my body doesn't respond. Something flashes before my eyes, quick like lightning. I can't move. Every fiber of my body has the tension of a bowstring, held impossibly taut. I shouldn't be standing. I look to the side. Something stirs and spasms amidst the dirt and mud. It's back. Amorphous and vile, decomposing, clawing at the ground, trying to get up, and behind it, warming through the trees. More like it. Althemia, over here. Move. Move, 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 move! Move! I close my eyes, gritting my teeth. I can't feel my arms nor my legs, but I know they're there. I swallow down a breath, like fighting against this hold on me. I fall back, every muscle and bone melting into a puddle at once. A pair of hands curl under my armpits. My vision blurs before focusing into a face I recognize. Damn it! Hold on. He lets me go, and my chest heaves as I enter a freefall. Then I blink, and I'm wrapped in his arms again. What? I'm starting to. Wanderer?
Hey now.
Hey, hey! Eyes open! Eyes open, come on. Let me go. I have to go. I push him away, my shoulder thumping against the harsh bark of a nearby tree. Listen to me! I freeze. His broad figure casts a long shadow on me, feral and severe. You ain't safe here. You hear me? Don't listen to it.
No.
Wherever you think you're going, that's a dead end. Going? I was going somewhere? You trusted me before. I need you to trust me again. Before? That wasn't trust. Trust is a completely different thing. He just seemed decent enough, and I don't have the energy to argue. I've reached my limit. There'll be time to explain everything later, but we have to leave. Now. My eyes snap up when something moves behind him. Envy rushes past us, a massive green and black against the purplish shade of the night. Amon, cross the rift and go. I'll deal with these abominations myself. But you can't. I said go. I don't have time to register what's happening. I only know that one moment my feet are on the ground and the next I'm in the air. I scream as my head knocks against Amon's shoulder. The woods are a mix of color and noise on my periphery as I'm carried through them at a speed that has my chest tightening. No. This is too fast. I dig my nails into his forearms, bracing myself. I close my eyes and swallow the acid climbing to my tongue. The unmistakable taste of breakfast rising in the back of my throat. I was safer back with that monstrous thing. Huh? I open my eyes only to close them again, gasping for a breath of air that doesn't come. Something is shining so brightly I wince when I try to catch a glimpse, turning my head to shield myself from the light.
Oh, it's all right.
I want to believe him. I really want to, but there's no way anything is okay right now. My pulse beats achingly in my fingertips, my cheeks, my temples. Something rumbles through my bones, and only when it lasts longer than a shiver do I realize Amon is chuckling. Right, you can open your eyes now. Can I? Whoa. I reluctantly do as he says. Red and white dots are still burnt in my visions, and I grimace as it takes a second for them to vanish. Hello. There's a long hallway ahead, a floor of polished tiles stretching as far as the eye can see. My mouth falls open as I crane my neck back to follow the lines of the stone columns disappearing into a thick darkness obscuring the ceiling. The grim silence and earthiness of the forest has been replaced by the flicker of torches and the faint scent of wax. Wait, how did we get here? How? Where? Amon shifts his weight, his grip on me tightening briefly as he makes a sharp turn. I instinctively cling to him, afraid he's going to start running again, but he stands still.
Yeah.
You see? Safety. Amidst the floating dust and the feeble light of the torches framing each side of the hallway, I catch a glimpse of the forest. The image wavers as if the dark trees and the scrawny branches were buried underwater. It twitches and spasms, surrounded by a white shine that distorts the rest of the hallway. It's like a living painting, floating in the middle of the air, and when I squint to get a closer look, I realize there's something moving behind it. Here they come. What the? Did he just... Wait. Remnants of liquid light bead on Envy's shoulder. He grunts and huffs, supporting themselves on their knees before fanning their hair back and standing tall. And they glare at their brother, then back at me, and I stare in shock as the forest disappears behind them, shrinking until it's just a speck of luminous dust. Envy mutters something under their breath, dusting off their tunic. Somehow I manage to swallow a gasp at the sight of their spasming stiff hand. More than a hand. It looks like a claw, sharp and twisted. You alright? They arch an offended eyebrow. Of course I am. Where's your cloak? Don't mention it! Then their eyes roam all over me, curiosity behind their judging gaze, and I remember that I'm still in Amon's arms. My eyes draw a line up his exposed throat and his jaw. He holds me firmly, but not forcefully. It doesn't look like he's about to put me down anytime soon. I won't say anything. Nope. I'm scared I'm going to run off again and not get down. Honestly, I'm not sure if I'll be able to stand up if he lets me go. And it's kind of comfortable. His grip makes me feel somewhat safe. And the tiny and scared voice in the back of my head is begging me to just stay like this and let him handle the rest. Whatever the rest is. Are you perhaps determined to carry the human all the way to our meeting point? I snapped my head to see them tapping the ground impatiently with their foot. Course not. Amon glances down at me and our eyes connect. He seems unsure, scanning me for a moment as if to decipher my intentions. Namely, if I'll break for the next exit and the second he puts me down. I think I won't, but I also don't want to find out what'll happen this time if I do. He's surprisingly gentle, stooping down slowly so my body can adjust. I stand using his shoulder for leverage. He remains half crouched, watching carefully as I steady myself and bounce up and down to check my balance. Alright, I expected it to go worse, honestly. All in one piece. I think. He sounds absurdly proud when he stands straight and crosses his arms over his broad chest, grinning at me. No thanks to you, may I remind you. It was your idea to handle the Voidbound. You could have carried her, and I could have stayed fighting. Your single brain cell was already struggling the moment you saw her. You should be grateful I took control of the situation. See? This is why the other kids don't want to play with you. You're mean. I'm not mean. Amon starts walking, rolling his eyes slightly in my direction. I bite down a chuckle, moving along when his hand brushes my back in a silent encouragement. Amon, I'm not mean. Amon looks at me sideways, shoulders shuddering. I see him mouth a very clear, of course not. The little grin tugging at his lips, making me snort. Are you two laughing at me? They sound angrier every time they speak, broadening Amon's smirk. The glances he sends my way are making it hard for me not to laugh. You? Mean? What's that you say? Ah, yes, perish the thought. Oh. I clamp my hand over my mouth to smother the loud howl that turns into a weird gurgle against my palm. He imitated Envy's voice perfectly. God, it almost sounded as if he'd played a recording. I absolutely do not sound like that. You absolutely do, right, Althemia? I would like to be excused for this conversation. Thanks. Envy clicks his tongue, speeding up his pace and checking Amon's shoulder when he overtakes him from the left. I steal a glance at Amon, only to find him already staring at me with that sly smirk of his. He gestures ahead with a flick of his chin, and I follow his line of sight until I catch Envy rubbing his shoulder. It's almost comical to watch them, taking deliberately long strides to leave us behind. See, they get grumpy pretty easily. You just have to know which buttons to push. He's raising his fist at me again. I bump it, chuckling under the breath as he falls in step beside me. It's hard to see him as a threat. Perhaps that's what's most dangerous about him. That before I know it, I'm being drawn to that natural charisma of his. That comfort that reminds me of my neighbors back home. Let's go, I nod, following after him. It's really nice here. As we walk, my eyes try to register every shape and texture in my surroundings. Every crack on the stone walls, every flicker of the candlelights, at the feet of the columns. I'm calmer now. Too calm, in fact. There are a lot of questions mingling in the back of my mind, but the forefront of my thoughts is surprisingly empty and peaceful. This place has some sort of soothing effect on me. It's almost familiar. I can't tell where this hallway leads to, but somehow I feel like I know. I should ask something. I just don't know which question should come first. So where exactly? Gale. Amon's boisterous voice reverberates through the hallway, effectively silencing me. He breaks into a jog, leaving me behind with an envy that does his best to hide their face behind their hair. Ah, great. The master is here. Hi. Peeking around Envy's shoulder, I see a man standing further ahead. The soft flicker of the candles drawing the edges of a long and lustrous cloak. He turns around with a start, worry written across his face. Amon! He strides up to us, the long cloak draped across his shoulders, flaring out behind him. The candlelights by his feet waver as he picks up speed, meeting Amon halfway.
Father keeps me. Are you two all right?
Are all three of you brothers?
Yeah.
Kinda. But that's not important. Look at this. He excitedly does jazz hands around me. It's enough to catch the newcomer's attention. Hi. Oh. The color drains from his delicate face. I shuffle my feet, gluing my arms to my sides in a poor attempt to look better than I know now. I know I do. I've rolled through mud, I stink of blood and foul water, and there's dirt clinging to places I'd rather not think about. There's not much saving my first impression. Not that it should matter. Is this the cause of all this mess? Yes. Oh. Oh dear. In a single fluid motion, he sweeps his coat off of his shoulders to perch on one of his gloved arms. The gentleness of his feature is replaced with a deep frown in a matter of seconds as he throws Amon a pointed glare. I am extremely disappointed in you, Amon. What? I expected this level of sloppiness from our sibling, but not from you. Huh? Excuse me? To allow her to be in this foul condition. Wait, I can explain.
No.
I thought you knew better than this. Gale shakes his head, not leaving room for any argument. For the first time, Amon's impermeable smile is shattered and reduced to a sour pout. I feel a bit bad for him. A bit. With only 2 steps of his fairly long legs, Gale stands in front of me, offering me a heartfelt bow of his head.
On behalf of my siblings, please, let me apologize.
My mouth parts, but only a pitiful sound makes it out as our gazes lock. Behind his eyes, ripples of glimmering silk move in the color of early dawn. Pink shines from within a pool of royal purple, enthralling me completely. I can see lightning dancing around his tiny pupils as a quiet whisper caresses the back of my neck, making the hairs stand on end. It's difficult to look away.
You must be cold and terrified, among other things. I promise you will be treated with the utmost care and respect from now on.
Okay. I don't register the cape falling around my shoulders until he clasps it in place, smoothing the sides with meticulous hands. The scent of lavender and detergent clashes with the stench clinging to my body. The warmth of the fabric drags a sigh out of me. My body stirs back to life at the sensation. My hands snaking out of the coat to close it around me and press its comfort and weight against my tepid skin. I can't, for the life of me, summon any strength to speak. We do not have time to lose to play the gentleman. Gale's head snaps up to envy and a careful consideration. His eyes immediately slide to the arm they've been very insistent on hiding. You are right. You in particular should make haste. You two go ahead. Rhea is already waiting in the spire. I'm sure our dear sister will appreciate a bit of insight about the situation at hand.
Huh.
Are we using the spire? Yes. Every precaution is too little. A particularly strained beat of silence goes by. I look between them, but there's nothing I can decipher from the mix of expressions on their faces. What are you planning to do with this? I have a name! The hand waves in my direction. Gale places himself slightly in front of me to protect me from envy's rudeness. As for our esteemed guests, I'll see to it that they're in better condition before meeting our father. You can fathom what he would say, if only by my own reaction. As he says that, his long fingers rest on my shoulders. The touch is so light, I would have missed it if it wasn't for the scent of leather tickling my nostrils. You cannot be serious. What's going on? Gale stands taller next to me. I glance up at him as his throat bobs down with a hard swallow, the tension clear in the air. All right, we leave the little bunny in your hands then. The what? Amon throws his arms around Envy's shoulders, pulling them against his side right when they're about to protest. Instead, there's only a nasty choking sound and rather an ominous crack. Amon! See you in a bit. What? You cannot be... Ow! Amon winks at me and turns swiftly on his heels, dragging Envy with him. They both retreat deeper into the hallway. Past the torches I can see waving in the distance. Gale's eyes meet mine, and a chuckle hisses past his lips, pulling the corners of my mouth mouth up into a little smile.
They are a colorful pair, are they not?
Colorful is a curious way of putting it.
Please, allow me to apologize again, and not only on their behalf. Had I known the direness of your state, I would have done something to assist.
It's fine, really. I think. Excuse me, that sounds incredibly self-centered. He fiddles with the collar of his shirt. He looks like a prince in distress more than I do. And that's saying something. Don't worry, no offense taken.
Thank you. Now, come. I may not be able to do much, but it will be better than nothing.
Okay. He leads me aside and coaxes me to sit down on the wall's overhanging frieze. Our hands find each other naturally, and he doesn't let go of me until he's sure I'm not about to keel over. Even when I smile up at him reassuringly, his fingers hover close, ready to support me if needed. Before I can even begin to thank him, he bends a knee in front of me.
May I?
White noise takes over my already struggling brain as he earnestly looks up at me. My heart flutters seeing how deep the color of his eyes pours into me, warm and kind. There's something so harmonious about him, about the way his nose arches and his smile tucks into a dimple on his cheek. It takes me a long couple of seconds to understand he wants to see my hand. When I try to pull my arm out of the coat, it gets tangled in the flaps and I struggle to push them away. Allow me. He reaches out, his fingers delicately peeling off the pieces of fabric and freeing my hand. Heat raises to my cheeks as I place my palm in front of him. Sorry, I swear, I'm not usually this clumsy. Usually.
Don't say that. You're already going through a great deal.
A bit of clumsiness is expected, and the least of our concerns. I wouldn't demand you remain collected in this situation. I'm still not sure what the situation is, to be honest. His fingers slowly close around the back of my hand as he inspects the wound. It takes a Herculean effort not to yank it back when his breath tickles the wet and irritated patches of skin. Yes, I should apologize about that too. However, I'm afraid I can't give you any answers. Even if I had them, this is not my right to explain. But know that our intentions are not malice. That I can swear to you. I bore my eyes into his, trying to find any cracks, any hints that betray his true intentions. There are none. That's reassuring. If true. He beams at me, a perfectly arched curve set upon his slightly flushed lips. Relief clings to the wrinkles around his eyes, squeezing the beauty mark on top of his left cheekbone. I don't know if it's entirely because of him, but I feel oddly safe as the man holds my hand as though it were made of spun glass. There's something strange about him, in a good way. And that's as relaxing as it is nerve-wracking. He gently flips my hand over. Underneath the blood, the blade of grass and dirt, I can still see the black ink decorating the back of my hand. He retrieves a cotton handkerchief from his pants pockets, and his eyes search mine, asking for permission. I nod. I'm absorbed by the delicacy of his movements as he slowly cleans upward from my knuckles. He purposely avoids the traces of ink, and his eyes narrow thoughtfully when a drawing starts to reveal itself. Do you know what it is?
No.
Not without further examination. He hesitates when faced with the entrance of the cut, covered by a layer of mud. I would like to alter it as little as possible, so if you'll excuse me. Yeah, I get it. I'll try not to think about the consequences of leaving a wound of this caliber untreated and full of dirt. Gale tries the cloth around my hand. There's a look of absolute concentration on his face as he does so, careful not to touch me more than necessary.
Does it hurt?
Not as badly as when it happened.
Of course it does. Forgive me.
He ties the ends of the handkerchief together with a bow too fine for the occasion, and his thumb swipes across it as if to check its security. The sensation of the leather against my skin makes me flinch. This is as much as I can do for now. This is a lot, if we take the rest of my day into consideration. Between being stabbed, kidnapped, or this, I think the choice is pretty easy. He laughs breathily at that, but there's a concerned dip in the bridge of his nose, as though he can't decide whether he should keep laughing or not. Oh, well, that is a robust sense of humor. Thank you, Gale? Gale, was it?
Oh, yes. Where are my manners? It is a pleasure to make your acquaintance. My name is Gael, current master of the Grand Houses.
Gael. 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 I like that. Not Gale. Gael. As he takes a seat next to me, leaving a polite distance between us, I tilt my head to the side to get a better look. It only takes him a second to avert his gaze from me with a nervous clear of his throat. Which is a title you have no concept of, so it's not exactly relevant. I can't help but chuckle at his bashfulness. Nice to meet you, Gael. Master? Master Gael? Ah, no need. Gael will suffice. As I mentally repeat his name, something about it just sounds off. He doesn't look like someone who should be addressed by their first name. Shall we continue? He motions for us to stand, but waits for my reaction first. The other end of the hallway, where the other two disappeared behind us, is still as cryptic as it was before. Can we stay here for a moment? I need to catch my breath a bit. Surprise marks his features, but it lasts only for a blink. Yes, of course. I cannot leave you alone, however, for your safety. I hope my presence isn't too unwelcoming. It's not. It's just... I'm having a hard time trusting anything, or anyone. It's not just you. I understand. It is the wise thing to do, Althemia. Althemia. It rolls off his tongue softly, as if it's something meant to be said with care. A wonderful name, if you'll allow me to say. Oh, well, it doesn't have as much class as Master Gael, but I'll accept the compliment. Before I realize it, I'm extending my other hand for him to shake. He stares at it in dumbfounded silence. He clasps my hands with his, and I squeeze. Ah! His breath staggers in the back of his throat as he pulls back, cradling his hand against his chest. Sorry, did I squeeze too hard? No, forgive me. Forgive me. He casts his gaze lower to his slacks, stooping down to brush off a non-existent speck of dirt. Did I do something wrong? Or weird for that matter? We should continue. I hate to pressure you, but the longer we wait, the more unstable you may get. Unstable? He stands up and straightens his vest, brushing his hair away from his face with a jerk of his chin. Awkwardness has found its way through his smile, but he still waits patiently for me to leave our improvised seat. I don't know what I did or said, but I would rather go back to that comfortable silence from before. What do you mean unstable? No, I don't have time to think about that. There's a very clear question taking the lead in my train of thought. What do you mean unstable? He plays with the flaps of his gloves, searching for the correct words to say. I am not sure what my siblings have told you, but your presence here is, well, a most rare occurrence. I do not know what to expect, so I shall expect everything. You see, the rules of our realm, of our home, they are different from yours. They may affect you in a variety of ways. I do not aim to scare you, of course. Our father will see that you are safe, I assure you. Consider me a bit scared, honestly. If you have any more questions, know that I'll do my very best to answer them and ease your worries. I must warn you, though, I may not be very useful. I snort. The problem is I have too many of those. So, what now? What happens to me next? He shifts his weight, taking a long pause before speaking next. I'm not sure. We, the Sovereigns, those in charge of safekeeping Limbo's realm, are arranged to meet with you shortly. We will decide how to proceed then, after a very much needed debate. The Sovereigns? How many people are we talking about? You have already met Amon and Envy. I have 3 other siblings, and our father will lead the meeting. He is, the supreme authority of Limbo, you could say. That doesn't put me at ease in the slightest. The supreme authority doesn't sound too nice, but I guess he's the only chance I have to find some answers. Who better than the person who commands the place to shed some light on all of this? And what exactly is Limbo? Our home, just like the firstborn is yours. That's what you call it? Firstborn?
Huh.
Yes, our world came to life after yours, hence the name. Right. But that is not of importance right now. I know it is easier said than done, but do not get caught in the details. The last thing you need is for your sanity to be jeopardized. Something unusual has happened, and we want to resolve it as peacefully as possible. Both you and us. I silently agree. My head has started to spin again from that brief exchange. Taking a step back, he offers me his arm. The smile he flashes me next is different, distant. Let us hurry, then. Hesitantly, I curl my fingers around the crook of his elbow. He leads the way forward, and we walk along the eerie hallway once more, this time in silence. He doesn't make any attempt to strike up conversation, and I'm not in a position to do so either. I merely count our steps as we endlessly follow the cobblestone path. The silence is surprisingly welcome, but short-lived. Something wails from within the walls. It's like a quiet mourning. The wheezing cries of the wind leaking through the cracks of every brick shaping the corridor. I can vaguely distinguish mumbled words among the noise. I look up to Gael, but he's merely staring ahead, his gaze unwavering. If he hears it too, he doesn't react whatsoever. Then my skin crawls as a slow, unnerving smile curves his lips. He looks alien, uncanny, detached, as if he was carved from marble rather than born. What was a soothing presence a second ago now makes me swallow hard and loosen the grip I have on his arm. Why does he feel so different from before? Or am I the one we stop? Whoa. A gate made of stone and wood stands before us. The archivolts go up as far as I can see, framing a tympanum that portrays a long-haired man in its center. His hands extend to each side, fingers stretching outward like branches embracing the scene below. Around him, several worshippers clamber up a hill, trying to reach him at the top. A pendant adorns his chest. It's some sort of eye inscribed in a bent triangle. Wait, I've seen that before. I cling instinctively to Gael's arm when the gates open with a thundering noise, making the walls tremble. He finally looks at me as if awakening from a long dream. It's alright. A gust of cold air hits me, coiling around my feet and filtering through the cloak, and the scent of something acrid steals my breath away and burns my nose. The gates are now wide open. We're facing an austere, 7-sided room. The subtle streams of light coming from the ceiling shine through the floating specks of dust, and I look down at the threshold's clean cut, keeping the cobblestone from continuing inside. This way. I don't move, yanking him back with a strength I didn't know I still had. There's a chair made of stone in the middle of the room, rooted to the cracked floor. Over it hovers a shining black spear that catches the light coming from above it. An endless pit surrounds it all, and from it emerges the ominous hum of the earth far, far below. There's a balcony in the back on the first level, framing the whole room. The Colosseum made to observe and feast on what happens down in the pits, on the mental and physical carnage of the wicked and the doomed. It's a judgment room at best, and a torture chamber at worst. Don't go in there. I shake my head, taking a step back. A wave of nausea pierces my chest, and I let go of Gael's arm as though it were burning.
Are you alright? What's wrong?
I don't like this room. I'm not going in there. Please, I know it's not the most pleasant of sights, but you must trust me. I can't do that. I'm not going in there. There's no way. Althemia, please reconsider. There's nothing to reconsider. If someone wants to talk to me, they can do it right here. This is just standard procedure, Althemia.
I promised you would be safe, did I not? Can you please believe in those words?
I want to. I want to believe someone is on my side. But I don't. I see. He withdraws the hand that had reached to touch me, rubbing his wrist instead. My chest rises and falls erratically as his eyes slide to the room before us. I am terribly sorry. You leave me no choice. As I'm about to speak, a chill runs from the top of my head to the tip of my toes, crushing my throat. Something pierces down my spine, next gluing me to the spot. The air inside my lungs is expelled at once as every fiber of my body tenses. Althemia, please get into the room. His eyes bore into me, swallowed by a haunting glow. Everything around those glimmering irises becomes dark and blurry. I feel my thoughts seeping out of my head, and then nothing. Nothing but Master Gael. Take a seat. Yes, Master. I walk through the narrow corridor leading to my appointed chair. A rock slips off the bridge and falls into the void without a sound. My eyes follow the pebble until it vanishes into the darkness. There's nothing but peace and quiet around me. Nothing but the calm and careful beat of my heart in my ears. I sit down. My back slowly meets the stone and my hands lay on the armrest. The tepid warmth of the candles licks what little skin peeks through the master's cloak. The ball floating above me, no, the eye stirs to life and regards me with a quiver. Huh? The hair suddenly slices my lungs open and it tears a high-pitched gasp out of me. Heat rises to my head in the shape of my own voice reverberating inside my skull over and over again. The thoughts flow back inside, desperately filling the emptiness left behind. What did you do to me? I'm sorry. Flames bite every patch of my skin. I desperately shake the cloak off me, pushing my sleeves all the way up to my shoulders. You... He casts his eyes down to where his discarded cloak lays. The cloak floats into the air, fanning my sweat-stained cheeks in the process. It flies away from me and neatly coils itself around Gael's arms. Thank you.
No.
Don't mention it. Amon. I frantically sweep my eyes across the room in realization. Amon is sitting on one of the thrones, one leg hoisted over his knee. He raises a hand in silent greeting when he catches me staring. Next to him stands Envy, not claiming any seat. The only sign of acknowledgement they give me is stuffing their nose in the air. That thing on their arm, it's completely gone.
My. That takes some courage, brother. Good work.
There's someone else in the room. Right in front of me, a woman stands high on the balcony. Hands leaned on the railing.
You did well. Father's eye will now do the rest.
Her voice sinks deep into my bones. I would think her presence has sucked all the air out of the room, but I know it's simply me holding my breath. Her head tilts up ever so slightly, sizing me up thoroughly. We received a notice more than an hour ago. What were you doing? My apologies, dear Pafictious. I wanted to present our guest in better shape than we found her for our father's sake. Alas, I am not sure I achieved that. She raises a hand to her forehead, heaving a long sigh. Her right arm reflects the purplish light of the room, highlighting the many curves and crevices, giving shape to an elegant prosthesis. You and your compassion again, Gael. I admire you. It does not even falter in these circumstances, does it? On the contrary, it should be stronger than ever in moments like this. I'm glad you guys are having fun, because I am terrified. If you don't mind me, I will take my seat now. He turns with a bow, and I stare at his receding back. The paralyzing fear strangling me only heightens with every step he takes. Who is he? No, what is he? What are these people? I take this as her. She's looking at me. The drum of her metallic claws on the stone echoes loud enough for me to flinch. Her crimson eyes flicker with a dull curiosity as they fall on me. Hi. I come in peace, I think. I curl my hands into fists as I hold her stare. Gael's handkerchief tightens around my hand.
Uh-huh.
Yep, this is her. Oh, okay. She don't like me. Scary lady. The woman inspects me more closely now. So this little thing crosses the crystal border and lives. Quite the miracle, don't you think? My tongue darts out to ease the dry cresses on my lips. This is a clear accusation behind that clipped tone of hers. And those beasts haven't torn her to shreds either, as I can see. Not a limb infected or missing. They tried to, for sure. We were lucky to be there. We'll see about that. She sighs once more with an audible tension and closes her eyes. When she opens them next, they instantly find me like a knife through the chest.
Listen up, child of the firstborn. I am Prefectus Rhea, guardian of this realm and protector of this sacred chamber. I will be the one to judge you on this day.
Okay. You will answer every question asked to you, and you will do so with honesty, lest you receive the punishment you'd be looking for. Have I made myself clear? Yes, ma'am. It's in my best interest to behave if I want to get out of here in one piece. Does it make it any easier to swallow what's left of my pride? Yes, ma'am. No need. You may address me as Perfectious. Whether to answer or ask. Oh, so I can ask as well. Interesting. Yes, Perfectious. The corner of her lips lifts with a sly smirk, lighting up her eyes with a glow proper of a sighted wolf. Good. Cooperate with me and you shall be rewarded. Now, Amon. What? Keep her still. We will begin as soon as father returns. Huh? What do you mean keep me still? What? Wait, what? My brother would keep you restrained during this process. You must understand that this situation calls for every safety measure available. Please, Perfectious, we do not think that is necessary.
No.
She's harmless, Ray. You should know that better than us. Just look at her.
We do not know that. I won't make the mistake of being incautious.
What? I glanced at the closed gates. For an instant, I imagined myself sprinting and pushing them open. But they look insanely heavy. Even if I had the strength to run up there without slipping and falling to my death, I don't know if I'd be able to push them open. Oh, shit. Go back. If what you said is right, and this being comes from the other side, then we don't know what she's capable of, and we should treat her as such. We do not know the effects of her presence may have. The balance has never been this feeble, and now this happens? She can barely stand. She's weak and... This is not a game, Amon. Her intentions do not matter. She disrupts the balance merely by existing here.
We should handle the situation with as much care as possible. And that means not taking any chances.
I hate that I understand her thought process, but I really don't want to be restrained to this chair.
Oh.
I can see that, but she is harmless, sister. I have been alone with her, and no harm has come my way. There's no need to succumb to panic this quickly. So I should be grateful nothing has happened to you? Father keeps me, Gael. Listen to yourself.
No.
I am merely saying we don't have to judge her as a criminal. And all I'm advocating for is ensuring our safety. You want to play around and discover what happens? Then do so. But not in my chambers and not in my presence. I agree with the Perfectious. We have to cast our feelings aside, and likely our morals too, if we want to get to the bottom of this.
No.
I thoroughly refuse to do that.
Children.
Whoa. It smells like honey. Sweet orange blossoms in spring, carried by the tepid breeze of the sunset. A rainy day spent sitting on the porch of an old house with a trusted friend. It smells like home.
I'm afraid our guest isn't feeling too well. We should calm down and lower our voices, yes?
A golden light ushers the room's shadows away. It bathes my skin, laying down soothing kisses, and I find myself sighing at the sensation. Whoa. You look powerful. Are you the one they call father? A man dressed in white emerges next to Rhea, pushing her away gently with one hand. He stands in the middle of the balcony, watching on with eyes of liquid sunlight that pours straight right into me. His fingers draw an arc in the air that leaves behind a trail of stardust.
It is quite cold in this room. My apologies.
Pretty. The air around me warms up, embracing me with loving arms. The sweetness in the air expands, engulfing me, and I tilt my head back in relief. Slowly, the terrifying knot in my stomach loosens, deftly unpicked by tendrils of light. That is better. Yes? I nod. A tingle in my belly urges me to look away from him, to avert my eyes from the unparalleled magnificence that he is. Battling the feral needs to just drown into sight of him. Then it clicks. This is the man on the hill. He is the god carved on top of those gates. Fear not, my guest. It is an honor as the father of this realm to welcome you to my home. You must understand the apprehension of my children. They mean no harm, and neither do I. A hand lifts and strokes my chin. It's warm and light, but invisible to the eye. The touch pulls at a string I didn't know was attached to my chest, slowly untangling it. Every fear and worry dissolves by his hand, freeing me. What a magnificent creature, don't you think, my children? No one is looking at me. No one but him.
I am the father, pride of Limbo. You may think of me as the creator of all that you see before your eyes.
Cool. These are my beloved children. I ask that you be kind when thinking of them. Taking a step forward, Rhea clears her throat. The hand brushing my jaw shies away, leaving no trace behind.
Father, please excuse our behavior.
No need. Losing our manners is bound to happen in the light of such an unusual event. It speaks of your noble heart and of your honorable intentions. Once more, I am proud of you. I am only sorry that I could not be here with you sooner, my children. The room is enveloped in tight silence as everyone settles into their seats without uttering a word. The lump in my throat, albeit less painful than a moment ago, still prevents me from doing more than swallowing. I should speak, or maybe I shouldn't. The best I can do is try to plead my case, but I have to be careful. Could I speak? Their eyes bore into me. I try not to shrink under them. I look to the perfectionist for permission, but she averts her gaze. There's a higher authority in the room right now. If you could wait, my beloved guest, I would appreciate it. There are 2 of my children left for you to meet. With all due respect, Father, I would advise to proceed with the judgment without them. This is much too dangerous of a matter to involve them. Ah, yes, I understand your concern, but I'm afraid they are already here. Right on cue, there's a loud knocking from the other side of the gates. A breeze of laughter slips past Father's lips, and his hand sweeps through the air at the very moment the doors begin to part. A bright-haired woman cheerfully waltzes in, dangerously close to the edge of the bridge. She bounces on her toes, adjusting her hold around the knees of a young man whose grip around her neck tightens as she teeters forward.
Ara, put me down! My stomach's still...
Jesus! That's an entrance.
You said you were too tired to walk, right?
That doesn't mean you can...
At least walk straight.
Sucks to be you. It's your fault we're late. So, deal with it.
I didn't want to come in the first place.
And you don't have to. Just put me down.
He brings a hand to his mouth as a very audible retch reaches my ears, urging a similar reaction from me. If she slips, both of them will fall to their inevitable deaths. I instinctively glue myself to my seat. The edges of the backrest jab my spine. My loveliest, you shouldn't run through the hallways. You might slip on the wax. It's fine. Sorry for the delay, Dad. No need, my dear, but do put poor Zal down. I don't know. I think he deserves a bit more punishment. Let's save that for tea time, For now, we should take our seats. Yep, sorry. You see, someone had to go to the bathroom and couldn't wait. Oh, I can projectile vomit all over the place if you want to. Oh, my stars. Let's also save that for later. I thought our guests would appreciate that.
Huh?
Right, our guest. She puts the boy down with a little delicacy, almost throwing him into the air.
Huh.
Sweet circles, is it true then?
Indeed.
Yes, my dear. Your siblings just escorted her here.
The Wanderer of Worlds? I really thought you were messing with me.
Wanderer of what now? It's not your damn Wanderer, Ara. Stop believing in that kind of stuff. I'm not saying she is, but how many people have claimed to see the Wanderer lately? Huh? And how do you explain this? This is proof it's real. Sure, proof. This is your fault for paying attention to those weirdos. And speaking of paying, there's no trace of the dizziness he had a second ago as he extends a greedy hand to her.
Hey, Daisy.
She falls silent. For a moment, it feels like I'm looking at a statue.
Huh?
Come on! I wouldn't have bet on it if I had known. Oh, boo.
Oh, boo-hoo. Pay.
She growls, throwing her arms into the air before jabbing a hand into the purse around her waist. I hear the familiar clinking of coins as she slams them onto his open palm. Hey, we said 30. I'm not paying you 30. You are paying me 30.
In fact, you said 30, plus fixing the compost machine yourself for a month, and cooking sweet leaf tarts for me the whole week.
Zal! Now, don't fight. Let us sort this out together later, yes? Fine, but you still owe me 20. They make their way to the balconies, each step louder than before as they drift away. I watch as they continue their casual chat, throwing glances at me all the while. When a girl notices me staring, she waves at me. Hi. I avert my eyes. I need to get out of here. Now. The doors are still open, and I feel reasonably better. I know that's not me, but the hold this place or the man in gold has on me. But maybe I can take advantage of it. I can sprint to the door, get to the hallway, and if I'm lucky enough, maybe lose them through the corridors if they give chase. There's no time for second guessing. Huh? I try to hoist my body up with my hands, but I'm pushed down again the moment my rear leaves the chair. I told you I'm on. Oh dear. I ask that you remain seated, my guess. My fingers spasm when I command them to move. Every mechanism in my body halts. A fist pulls back to the reins of my muscles, yanking me back against the stone. All the blood rushes to my head, the only thing that is still mine. It's useless. I can barely blink and breathe. Maybe I should be grateful for that. It takes me a long time to move my eyes to meet Amon's. His left hand is facing down, pointed vaguely at me. He's the one doing this to me, isn't he? But how? How is this?
Indeed.
Splendid. We can begin. The 6 thrones are occupied. Father stands on the balcony, hands joined before his. I'm about to be judged. For what? I don't know. It is known today a human has crossed the border between our realm and the Firstborn. This is proof. This isn't real. There's no way any of this is real. Now, I will hear about the recent events from my eldest, Lord Amon. Amon's mouth opens, and his eyes make a beeline to Envy, who is staring stoically down at their hands. Well, Dad Vivi was the one who... Ahem. Father, Lord Envy was the one who felt the pull on the border. I think it's them who should. You know your sibling cannot answer, son. The fingers still pointing at me twitch. I try to jerk my arms up, but the intangible force wrapped around me pushes back down. If he gets distracted enough, maybe I can. Yes, of course. He stands. The rasp of his throat disrupts the ominous silence. We were both in the Black Citadel when Lord Envy felt the border weaken. We saw a light in the sky after that. We hurried to the woods past the circles, and we found a human near the limits. A pause. We encountered some void bond. More than usual, they chased us beyond the limits. And far away from them at that, they got really close to the fourth bridge. That is quite concerning. It is. The void bound venturing off limits? That can only mean the tower is getting more powerful. We should raise the alarm in nearby towns. The tower. Hearing that word is enough to drive my heart all the way down to the pit of my stomach. This may be my only chance. Excuse me, that tower you mentioned, what is it? Judging by the many reactions around me, it seems they've forgotten I was here altogether. We do not know exactly. It is an entity that has been feeding off Limbo's essence for eons, long before some of us were born. Its origin is unknown, as are its goals. We assume it is sentient and intelligent to a degree. Any attempts at communication have been fruitless, however. That vile thing is a threat that spits monsters into our realm. The Void Bound, which you've had the pleasure of becoming acquainted with. And that should be enough to satisfy your curiosity. Well, aren't you a thing of sunshine? No, it's not. If anything, I have even more questions now, but I'm not sure how smart it is to show interest in this entity they're so afraid of. I see it in my dreams, after all. Maybe it's a bad omen. Or worse, something that could get me killed if they find out. Curiosity
is a marvelous thing. Please don't hold back if you harbor any more questions.
I can't see through that affable smile of his, but my guts churn and twist at the sight. There's something behind those words. Intent. Maybe a wish for me to keep asking.
You wish to speak, did you not? This is your chance. I now grant you permission to plead your case, if you will. Our dear Prefectus moderates this chamber, but today I will be the one to heed your words. I advise you to be wary of what you say, or what you do not.
A cold drop of sweat rolls down my temple. My mouth is so dry I almost choke around my tongue. I don't really know what to say. I don't know who you are or where I am to begin with, but I'll tell you anything you want to know with one condition. Whispers erupt around me, some entertained, some horrified. My voice gets caught in the bottom of my throat for a moment before I can speak again. You must guarantee my safety. Promise me I won't be harmed, and I'll tell you everything I know.
I never had any intentions of hurting you, my dear guest. I assure you that you fall under my protection, and my word and my will are law. Is that enough to ease your concerns?
I somehow managed to hold his stare. I can't for the life of me read his expression at all. I trust it. Yeah, it'll have to do. Yeah, it'll have to do. If he really is as powerful as a god, he can do whatever he wants whenever he wants. I have no real guarantees. This is all I have. A hopefully not empty promise.
Indeed.
Excellent. I promise your cooperation will be rewarded. Please don't reward it with death. Please. We will start with the very basics. Introduce yourself to the chamber, my dear. My surprise must be showing, because he tilts his head to the side, inviting me to answer. Uh-oh. My name is Althemia. I live in Faybourne, a small seaside town. I'm nobody in particular, I guess. What about your intentions, my guess? Intentions? Right now, survive, I guess. A splutter echoes from one side of the room. Hara slaps a hand over her mouth, but the motion only makes her slip more evident. Rhea clears her throat. I can feel the strain in her forehead as she tries not to roll her eyes. How did you get here? I don't know. A seer stabbed my hand. What? A seer? I went with a friend of mine to get her fortune read. They offered me a reading too, and then they started saying the weirdest things. They attacked me, stabbed my hand on the floor, and the floor gave in. Then I fell, and I remember... I rack my brain only to find that those memories are still scattered and fragmented. Sensation remains, but I can't put them into coherent words. I remember the ocean and the stars. Someone was talking to me, then I woke up in the forest. I don't think it's wise to tell them the seer told me about this somehow. About the one between, or... Wait. Are you the one between? His golden eyes widened for a moment, as brief as a blink. His calm countenance is shattered by the grip of fear.
That is quite enough.
Uh-oh. My mouth clamped shut instantly. I agree. It is bold of you to assume you could spit all this nonsense without being. I'm not lying.
Hey!
She did fall from the sky. I just said that. We saw the border being broken. And I saw the writings on the back of her hand. It is obvious a ritual has been performed. We don't have time to lose listening to this nonsense. If those damned creatures are wandering outside their prison, then we should focus on ensuring our people's safety. I'll see that every patrol station in every town near the fourth bridge sees their numbers doubled immediately. In the meantime, I suggest we bring the human to Redlock until we figure out what to do with her.
Huh?
Redlock? That's a bit excessive, isn't it? It's not. For all we know, she could explode any minute now. Redlock is our safest bet. Explode? We would ensure she is under constant surveillance and proceed with further deliberation after the Voidbound are driven back to their swamp. We do have yet to reach a solution, and time is scarce. Do my other children have any suggestions? Why don't we try to send her back to the Firstborn? You all surely can't be fine with sending her to Redlock of all places. I refrain myself from asking what Redlock is. I think I can get an idea. It's not that simple. We have to consider the consequences of our decision.
Harmless or not, which we don't know yet, we have to prioritize the safety of the realm. Do you all understand that?
I do, but if she shouldn't be here, then let's send her back. The safety of the realm. Am I a threat somehow? Right, Zale? He shoots up in his seat, a confused babble falling off his lips, registering the sudden attention of everyone else. He sits upright, throwing helpless glances around him. Sorry.
What?
Weren't you listening? No. We're talking about someone's life here.
What do you want me to say? It's not like my opinion will change anything.
Huh.
Just say something. Anything would do at this point.
I'm right here, you guys know this, right? I'm right here. You aren't gonna like it. Just say it. Ray is kinda right. We're in the dark about all this, and the voidies are running around out there while we argue, so... I mean, I know that, but... She looks at me, lips worried into a troubled line. I share the sentiment. Permission to intervene, Prefectus? Envy shuffles their feet, vaguely gesturing at me with one hand while avoiding my eyes. Rhea regards him. Their gazes meet for the briefest of moments. Permission granted. We are not seeing the bigger picture, I'm afraid. First, the Midnight Towers start spitting Voidbound. Then they venture beyond the limits, and now a child of the Firstborn shatters the crystal border and crosses into Limbo. Suspiciously close to the tower, may I add. Do you think these events are related? They could be. It can't be a coincidence, at least. Not when the tower is absorbing more essence every day and the Voidbound are becoming smart enough to bypass our defenses. Perhaps its sheer power is starting to leak into the Firstborn. And this is a consequence of it. We know too little about the tower to discard any scenario. It's either that or the human has been summoned here, and both options should concern us. If the tower is not reasonable, it means someone has performed a ritual without precedent, and has done so with a purpose in mind, a purpose we know nothing about. Another human sent her here, you say. That's what she's saying. That or someone has summoned her from this side, and that seer of hers is just an unfortunate puppet.
Nonsense. The requirements for such a feat are incalculable. Unfathomable.
For us?
No. There is no way a simple human could do something like that. It's impossible.
Well, I'm here, aren't I? I think that kind of proves it's possible. Then the only possibility left is blaming one of our people. Those privileged enough to know about the existence of the Firstborn are aware of the consequences of attempting something this egregious. Even if they somehow had the power and the knowledge to reach the other side of the crystal border, they wouldn't risk their positions, their lives, for an insanity like this. Father would know if they behaved otherwise. No one could pursue something like this, unnoticed and without leaving a trace. You mentioned someone stabbed your hand, did you not? Yeah, someone stabbed my hand. Yeah, they drew something on the back of my hand, and then, well, you know the rest. I look down at my hand. The cloth gale tied around it is stained red. I saw it, yes. I couldn't read it due to the state of the wound, but with effort, she could have drawn it herself. And why would she do such a thing?
That is what I've been trying to tell you since we started this, Gael. That we know nothing. Nothing at all.
As such, we cannot ignore any possibilities. Can you say with striking accuracy that she is completely innocent and oblivious? Gael looks at me. I don't know how to feel. He forced me to sit here, yet he's fighting oddly hard to ensure I'm not sent to whatever Red Block is. No, I can't. Ooh, I really don't know, man. I take a shallow breath. The seer wanted me here, or perhaps not them, but someone else. Did they want me in particular, though? Like it or not, they knew a lot about me, about my life. The puzzle pieces lay strewn before me. I can imagine endless possibilities of what the final picture looks like, but my mind can't fully grasp it. A lot of terrible things come to mind. Speaking out of turn might get me in trouble. These people, whoever or whatever they may be, are not my friends. Right now, they fully have the upper hand as well. They're discussing what to do with my life, after all. I have to be smart no matter how scared I am. I swallow down the thick lump in my throat. I gather myself and raise my hand. Amon's hold allows me to. That's good. Could I... Go on. Again, I swear I'll cooperate with you in every way I can. I have nothing to do with whatever's going on. I just want to go back to my family. I understand that. But the truth is that you may be dangerous in ways not even we can fathom. I'm not doing this for entertainment. Let me prove it then. I wasn't lying before. If me being here is such a problem, then help me leave. I get it. You're trying to protect your family. Then help me get back to mine. I'll tell you anything you want to know, or help you however I can. Just give me a chance. I throw glances around the room, but I am only met with the heavy silence of their deliberation. Pinched brows, pursed lips, and then an exhausted sigh. I must reiterate, confinement should be our last resort. It is not only cruel, but we are also depriving ourselves from learning from Althemia. If you want to be cautious, my prefectus, then let us personally watch over her. Hey, that's smart. Keep your enemies close and all that, Of course. Who knows? Maybe she can help us solve this mystery. I doubt it. However, at the tower or someone else wants her, I agree it's best to have her in our possession and under our personal vigilance. Think about it, Ray. We know so little about the tower. If keeping the precious bunny means we can have some advantage, we should play smart. And of course, you gave her one of your silly names already. And what if all of you are wrong? That the tower has nothing to do with this? Then it means someone is plotting something against Limbo's integrity, and we should stop it from happening, no matter which side of the border it belongs to. Your Althemia could be harboring plans of her own, or fulfilling them for someone else.
Huh.
Then you'll agree it's best if we keep a close eye on her. Alright, I'll trust your judgment. You lot are really tiring to argue with. I withdraw my proposal for now. Thank you, Prefectus, truly. Unbelievable. Do not thank me yet. I am merely placing my trust in my siblings. You best not betray that trust. I won't. Father, how should we proceed now? Father is looking down at his hands, twisting the many rings glimmering on them. It is a concerning situation, no matter the truth that lays behind it. The arguments have been nothing but impeccably solid, and I confess I fear for us all. If our guess is the key to discerning the tower's intention or to uncovering a treacherous plan to hurt our people, then perhaps... He looks right into my eyes.
Impossible.
But I will not put my family at risk. I refuse to do so. That said, another thought occurred to me. As much as our Zal doesn't wish to engage in this conversation, perhaps he can contribute to answering some questions and assist in our decision. What? I thought I was finally ending clear. Oh, but dang it. I would like to know if the human possesses an immediate threat to us. Perhaps you can enlighten me on that matter, son. The color drains from his face until his skin turns ashen.
Well, I've never tried it on someone. And,
Indeed.
Our approach is greatly affected by the question of whether or not our dear Althemia is a threat to the delicate balance of the realm. But if you'd rather not, I understand, my son. We will find another way. It is all right to be scared. Zal wavers, head bobbing from side to side. His legs, which have been sprawled out like a cat's, are now crossed at the ankles, as he stares through them with his trembling eyes.
No, I can do it. I think.
You sure? Yeah, trying can't do any harm, I guess. Let's find out then. Father's hand reaches toward the other side of the room where Zal sits. A thin beam of light emanates from two of his outstretched fingers, marking the middle of Zal's forehead. The scent of orange tickles my nostrils once more. The light tastes sweet. Dear Prefectus, help your brother get down quickly. Immediately. She extends a hand in front of her. The railings on the right side of the room quiver, then melt down into a brownish liquid. An invisible mold hugs the cement to create a path leading to where I sit. The steps becoming solid in front of my very eyes. What was a piece of railing seconds ago is now a perfectly sturdy set of stairs, and Zal wastes no time climbing down them. I must warn you, my beloved guest. There is a ward embracing my son's body. Should you attempt to harm him in any way, I cannot guarantee what will happen to you. My throat squeezes down a gulp. It takes of its own accord. Father smiles tenderly as he steeples in his hands. There's no hesitation in him. The void in my stomach twists as I vaguely consider what would happen if he sensed any ill intentions coming from me. Zal fidgets, removing his hands from his pockets and taking a step closer to my seat. I can see my reflection in his jacket, tired eyes and gaping, swollen mouth. I barely recognize myself.
Hey.
Hi. He awkwardly raises a hand to me. Hey. He shuffles his feet. His eyes don't meet mine for long.
I'm, Zal.
Oh, it's Zal. Althemia. God, this is like a fever dream. So, do you want me to explain what are you going to do to me? He bares his teeth in a grimace. His slightly rosy cheeks flower into a deep crimson.
Well, if you say it like that, it sounds like I'm gonna do something horrible.
I mean, I'm in the dark here. You could be. Yeah. This must sound weird, but I can, know about stuff when I touch it, so that's what I'm hoping I can do to you. What kind of stuff? What you're made of, chemical compositions. I can also learn how your body functions, or if you are sick. I think. You don't sound too sure. I've tried it on my cat a few times, but never on, you know. His slender fingers shyly gesture at me. And what's the worst that can happen exactly? Nothing, I think. It's not supposed to be aggressive with what I touch or anything. I guess the worst would be learning nothing. I see. I mean, that's the worst. Come on, bro. She won't bite. She may slap you, though, so be careful. Shut up! Squaring his shoulders after shooting him on a withering glare, he jabs his hand right in front of me. Your hand? I arch an eyebrow. Please. That's better. I place my non-stabbed hand on top of his. His skin is soft and his fingers curl around mine quite nervously. Good to know I'm not the only one scared, I guess. His fingertips find the back of my hand. Hesitant, trembling, I close my eyes, readying myself for any kind of pain as he squeezes my palm. I can feel my pulse battling his own. The point where our hands meet tickles, and slowly the feeling turns sharp, like a pinch traveling all the way up to my shoulder. It doesn't hurt. My skin is caressed by a faint wave of dew that sets the hair along my arms pinned straight like a field of needles. There's a low thrum in my ears and a tingling nudge behind my eyes. Then comes a flash of light, a spark the color of the morning sky. A bluish glow takes over my arm, lighting it up from the inside. Every vein turns into a glinting, sinuous line brimming with life. The orange and red hues of my backlit flesh bleed into blue. I can see all that light lies underneath my skin, emanating a soft glimmer. Whoa! His formerly gentle grip turns firm when my first reaction is to back away. His eyes are two beaming rays of cerulean light, lost in a vague point between my collarbones. Everything floats around us and stills. I can no longer tell his pulse from my own. We merge completely in an unknown sea, but I feel no fear. I drift away, letting the waves carry me, letting his eyes be my anchor. I'm submerged in frigid water, and the ice bites my skin. A voice tries to reach me. Fingers dance across the strings of an old and beloved instrument. Praise is given with the gentleness of a loved one. Then it arrives. Grotesque, all-consuming, starved for millennia. It roars, straining against its shackles, tearing apart the very filaments of life. It lies in wait. It has been waiting for too long. Don't you think? The light within my arm dies in a single instant. The pebbles floating around us fall back to their natural place, and the energy setting every nerve in my body on edge ebbs away. The last thing to fade is the shine of Zal's eyes. His pupils contract and his shoulders slump as his consciousness seems to slip back to reality. He scrunches his nose in discomfort and releases me slowly, letting his arm fall limply to the side. What is it, son? He squeezes his eyes shut a few times, clearing away the haze clinging to his expression. He doubles over right before me, hands shooting up to grip his head. I reach out when he kneels over, catching him before he can hit the floor.
Huh?
Zal? His dead weight pushes me back into the chair as he stumbles on top of me. The black of my hand and the side of Zal's hits the stone amidst a chorus of horrified gasps. His eyes snap open. We're so close I can see every twitch and flicker of his pupils as the gaze is deep into something inside me. My chest stills. His eyes sink into my own, digging into the furthest reaches of my brain. I hear a soft whispering of as his pupils turn white. Every other sound is drowned out by the thrum of his body, like a bolt of lightning caught within his rib cage.
Huh?
Zal, are you... His arms snap up to stop her from coming any closer, but his eyes are still fixed on me, darting between images I can't see. I don't know how long he stays there, curled over me, hovering mere inches away from my face. He's not breathing. The glow disappears from his eyes once more. Air re-enters both of our bodies at the same time. And only then do I realize that I've been holding my breath just like him. Slowly the heaving of our chests subdues and sink once more. He looks at me, conscious, serene. His bangs caress my forehead, but my body doesn't register the tickle they leave behind. You... His expression doesn't change, set in absolute neutrality, but there's a glint of something behind those impassive eyes. A glint that sends a chill through my very soul. He knows. Zal? She's harmless. Lethargically, he straightens up with a steadying hand on the backrest of my seat. He blinks hard several times once more. Are you certain, son? He puts some distance between us and reaches up to touch the spot where he hit his head. The glance he throws my way vanishes any doubt I had. He knows about me in the tower. Yeah. Zal looks away from me, stuffing his hands in his pockets. She's not gonna explode or anything. The worst that can happen is that she, dies, like, suddenly. Like, dropping dead, I mean.
Wow. Way to put it, champ.
Damn, what did you want me to say? The balance is trying to, balance stuff.
Ugh.
Just don't say anything about death. Fine. She's like a non-wielder. Can't wield, can't see, pretty much harmless. As I suspected. Father closes his eyes. It's a moment of intimate thought, one everyone presents respects. We will take a recess now. I need some time to deliberate. Prefectus, you may send word to the cities closest to the fourth bridge. Yes, Father. She swiftly rises from her chair and disappears. With her, she takes the tension that was tightly threaded across the room. Sons, Lord Envy, a word. The three of them abandon their position without hesitation, and a few eyes land on me as they do so.
Huh.
Dad, can I bring Althemia some water? His step visibly falters at the question, but it's only for the briefest fraction of a second before he recovers his composure. Of course, my dear. Such a thoughtful soul you are. Yes. The breezy sound of bare footsteps takes over the lower floor. I watch still in a strangely comfortable haze as her massive pink hair trots away and charges through the gates. Keep our guests company, Zal. We will return soon.
What? Wait! What am I supposed to do?
Hi. A door closes somewhere behind a balcony. The sound echoes louder than it should. We are alone. There's no one here but me and him, and a drowning eye hovering above my head. He draws out a groan, pulling his jacket up his shoulders. The fabric slides back down uncooperatively. I've been in plenty of uncomfortable situations in my life. This somehow isn't as bad as some of them. So, are you alright? I'm in one piece. I think that's as close as I'll get to alright. I guess I have to thank you for that. I was doing what they asked me to. But you were kind to me. I wasn't. Fine, I won't argue. Are you okay, though? You almost fainted. His eyes finally gather the courage to land on me, and they do so suspiciously. My attempt at gathering a bit of information has failed, apparently.
You don't have to be nice or anything. Like I doubt you care.
You almost fainted, and I caught you. If I didn't care, I would have let you hit your head. That's a bit edgy, don't you think? I can't help but chuckle. At least I try to. No, it's not. Just a bit. Stop laughing. Aren't you in pain and scared or something? I'm surprisingly lucid if you ask me. Don't know how long it will last, though. I could still do something bad to you, you know. Okay. Sorry. I don't think I breathed while reading that whole entire section. That was so intense. I was like, no. I'm gonna die right here and now. Father's gonna kill me. I need to drink something. Okay. We good. Let's continue. That's the most comical threat I've ever heard, but I keep my opinions to myself. He looks like he would flee immediately if he hadn't been tasked to keep an eye on me. One glass of water coming through. Busting through the gates with a glass in her hands, she saunters over towards us. Relief washes over my temporary guardian. With such strength, I'm afraid he'll keel over again. Very nice of you to leave me here alone. Yeah, what am I? Chopped liver? Oh, please. Don't tell me you're scared of Althemia. He doesn't reply. He shoots me a cautious glance, and I instantly know that what he's thinking about. Did he see the same I did? Then, or am I just imagining things?
Huh.
What's with the faces? What were you two talking about? Nothing. Nothing, Keeping secrets from Sister Ara, huh? Ara. Fine. Here, Althemia. Drink some. Oh. I'm sorry. I don't mean to laugh right now, but it's... Whoa, everything just happened so dang fast. This game's so intense. Had me on edge. Feel like I need that water IRL. Okay, I can do this. Several droplets vault off the overflowing glass as she jabs it in my direction, splashing onto my lap. The dazzling smile she's wearing could light up an entire city. Thanks. I hesitantly accept the offer. The glass feels absurdly light in my grasp. I gulp the water down so fast, I can't even taste it. My breath cuts short and my stomach twitches painfully at the sudden influx. God, that felt good.
Huh.
Circles, do you want some more? No, that's okay. We don't charge for it. You just have to ask. Her outstanding kindness is as welcome as it is concerning. I already let my guard down with Master Gael, and that didn't turn out too well. I rest the empty glass on my lap. Her smile broadens until her eyes are hardly more than a straight row of long lashes.
You don't look too different from us.
I don't. What did you expect?
Oh, come on. Don't tell me you hear Wanderer of Worlds and imagine someone completely normal.
Okay, she's got a point. You read too much. There's no Wanderer of anything. Wait, that thing. The Wanderer. What's that? Whoa, we in my face now. The pair of peachy eyes in front of me suddenly draws close, and a heartbeat Ara's nose is almost touching mine, and I swallow a squawk out of pure courtesy. The Wanderer of World... It's just a stupid fairy tale. That's what someone boring like you would say. Nah, that's what someone who's not delusional would say. Prick. Ugly. Idiot. Yeah, y'all siblings, alright. Their shared focus remains on one another, and they're bickering. There's a few hands thrown in the air merged with some slaps, and soon a round of laughter wrapping it all together. Anyway. Could I have more water? Like a light switch, Ara's face is taken over by another huge smile that utterly erases the impish expression she had a second ago. Sure. Ara picks up the empty glass and shoves it right into Zal's chest. You heard the lady. What? Come on. I'm not your butler. Bring it yourself. After the traumatic experience you made her go through, it's the least you can do. What? As if it was my fault. I didn't want to do it in the first place. And traumatic? Give me a break. I'm the one who almost broke my head in two. Come on, please. Zhao looks back and forth between us, flabbergasted. Notably, his eyes linger on mine longer than they do on his sister's. Don't look at the prisoner. Oh, that's me saying that. Don't look at the prisoner. Guest.
No, please. Do it for your super cute and kind sister.
Is that sister in the room with us now? Hara claps her hands together. Her pleading eyes are so big they look ready to pop out of their sockets. Fine. But I'm adding 10 more to your debt. Aww. My boobaloo woo. Thanks. He storms off, empty glass in hand. Hehe. I like you. You're mischievous like me. Her expression twists mischievously as he watches her brother march away, her little hands rubbing together like the most villainous of villains would do. Well, at least someone is having fun with us. So, how are you holding up, Althemia? I'm sure you've been asked that a bunch of times, but I can't resist myself. Well, I'm afraid I'll have to give you the same answer, so... I'm alive, I guess, unless you all have different plans. Because you don't, right? Plan to, off me?
Huh?
No!
I know everyone got a bit nervous back there, but I swear, we're not monsters or anything. See, things are not exactly perfect around here. But now that you're here, they might just be soon.
Because of the wanderer of whatever? I know I've heard about that before. It tickles something in my brain, but it's not enough to do the trick. Because of the wanderer of... It sounds kind of stupid. It's like some honorific you'd unlock in a mobile game. The Wanderer of Worlds. What's that? Are you really interested? Sure. It's one of our most famous legends. It's said when hope withers into despair, only the darkness remains. The Wanderer of Worlds, who is capable of walking any realm of existence, will come to save us all from harrowing grief.
Oh.
The Wanderer is blessed by the fabric of the universe, so it could traverse every plane, to bring peace to them if the balance of life ever tipped to the wrong side. You can see it when the veil between the worlds is at its thinnest, walking along the patchwork of reality itself. No other creatures can travel through the great void unharmed. It watches every realm, even far away. Its body is made of stardust and sea foam, and in its left eye the sun shines through and bathes every manifestation of life with its light. It's the lighthouse of the universe. Well, I can proudly say I don't think I'm made of stardust and sea foam. Her presence and gestures only grow larger with every word. She stares at some point on the horizon with a sparkle in her eyes. Her cheeks flush from talking so long without breath. If it weren't for the situation I'm in, I'd be completely dazed. I have no idea what she's talking about, but there's something captivating about the way she talks. About the way she seems to speak about something beyond this room. But as far as I know, there's nothing resembling stardust or sea foam in me. And if the sun is of euphemism for impending myopia, then sure, I've got that. Otherwise... And you think I'm all those things?
Huh?
Huh? Oh, no.
Oh.
I mean, not really. I mean, you could be. I mean, you're here after all, but I get it. I'm not that spectacular. Don't sell yourself short. It's just, we still don't know if you'll be walking among us for long. Thank you. Zell emerges from behind his sister, nudging her arm with a now refilled glass of water. Shut up. She yanks the glass off him and hands it to me. But you being here means the Wanderer could exist. It could come to us. Or maybe you are one of its manifestations. It must be a sign. I see. Shouldn't have asked about that dumb thing.
Ugh.
You're the only one who thinks it's dumb. Sure. Anyway, you could be the key to finding the Wanderer, to summon it to help us all. Well, I'm flattered. At least someone here wants me for something, I guess. Someone sees worth in keeping me alive. Whatever that means. Who knows? Maybe the Wanderer of Worlds will come to save me. Azara takes a deep breath, ready to talk more about this mystic hero of hers. A scraping noise comes from above and behind me. Tilting my head, I watch as the other 5 sovereigns flow into the side of the room, quietly chatting among themselves. There's a relaxed air about them. Even the stiffness around the prefect's shoulders have subsided.
Huh.
Hey, look who's having fun over there. Jealous much? You bet. One more boring speech from the prefectus and I'll die on the spot. There's nothing boring about my speeches. They're just too intelligent for your taste. Next time, try using some pictures and puppets, Ray. No kidding. I'd love that. Idiot. My children, back to your seats. This won't take much longer. Everyone takes their seats as requested. Zal has scurried away at some point, and Aura's the one who lingers on a platform that's been my prison for a while now.
Oh.
You can keep the glass if you want, just in case you get thirsty again.
Hang in there. Just for a little longer. Alright?
Maybe it's her bright smile or her familiarity in her gestures, in her movements. Whatever it is, I find myself nodding before I can think about it. Will do. She seems satisfied with that. With a final bob of her head, she turns to the stairway. Aura?
Huh?
Yes? Thanks. She tucks a few strands of hair behind the shell of her ears, but they promptly return to their place around her heart-shaped face. Don't mention it. Her lips quiver as she contemplates whether to say something else or not. With one last beam from me, she settles on the ladder, skipping all the way back to the upper floor. Wonderful. As Father resumes his position at the railing, the dust floating around the room freezes in place. The timid rays of moonlight peeking through the windows halt their dance. Not a sound or word is heard. After careful deliberation, I have made a decision. Please, don't kill me. For fuck's sakes, I did not go through all this for you to kill me. It is true that the human summoning is wholly inexplicable, as are her true intentions, or if she has taken part in this unprecedented event. With that considered, I will have the 7 sovereigns guard this one's life until a solution is found and the culprit of this transgression is brought to the sacred chamber. As Limbo's father and protector, I know in my heart this is the right thing to do. As a father, however, I would not demand this of you, my children. If the worst scenario came to fruition, many lives would be at risk, including your own. You don't have to ask, Father. The safety of this realm is the safety of this family. Your burden is our burden.
Yeah.
Yeah, we wouldn't dip on you like that. This'll be easy, you'll see. Zal? Aura? We're in, of course. Don't you dare count us out. Right, Zal? A dragged-out hum is his only answer. He searches for something he can use to help his case, and by chance, his gaze falls on me. His expression tightens. We draw a labored breath in unison. Yeah, about that. Sure, I guess. He looks away, crossing his arms before his chest in visible discomfort. The tension that should wash out of me solidifies, worming its way to my belly. Why is he not saying anything? How will we settle this, Father? Will she stay and aspire? Will we take turns watching over her? Knowing how fickle her life is, I'm afraid Aspire's volatile nature would not be ideal. My position does not allow me to dedicate as much time and effort to this matter as it needs. Therefore, I will ask of you to shelter Althemia within your circles. She must be under strict vigilance, but also cannot raise suspicion. This matter will remain as secret as possible. Teach her our customs. If she is truly foreign to them, let us embrace her and let her embrace our home. Sooner or later, the answers will be given to us, one way or another. Stand and cast your vote, if you will, my sovereigns. The room fills with the sound of shuffling clothes and shoes. 6 hands rest atop of the railing, and a quiet hum erupts from the earth, crawling up through the pillars holding this place together. However, there's one among them who doesn't move. Envy remains still, a distant look in his downcast eyes. Father, a suggestion if you'll allow it.
Indeed.
Yes, Lord Amon. Even from where I sit, I can see Amon's Adam's apple plummet under the weight of his father's candid stare. I'd like to suggest we include Lord Envy in this. Amon, I know the law, but they know more about the firstborn than any of us. It's only fair that he has a chance to help. And it would be good for them to have a say in this. Maybe then we can... Amon! His eyes meet Envy's, and the unspoken words between them are too intimate for me to watch for too long. What is going on here? We will speak about that when the time comes. For now, yes, I understand. Do you find yourself ready for this task, Lord Envy? As they glanced at their father, I realized there had been a faint softness in their eyes while they looked at Amon. Now, however, there's something else that words can't quite describe. Yes, I do. Then it's decided. Envy stands up and joins the rest, his pale hand clasping the cold stone of the ledge. By unanimous agreement, the 7 sovereigns will take Lady Althemia under their sacred protection. We will, however, grant our guests a chance of making a crucial decision. Father offers me a fond smile at his attention, as his attention zeroes in on me. He brings his hands together, squeezing his palms until a flicker of light seeps through his fingers. When his hands part, a deck of cards swirl in rapid circles between them. Its pace soon slows to a halt, bobbing up and down amidst a golden shimmer. The balcony in front of Father parts before him. Shying away from his presence, he steeps into the void, and the air itself holds him aloft, coiling around his ankles with care, delicately fanning his clothes. My heart trembles at the sight before being soothed into a calm rhythm. A golden hand slips between my ribs and lovingly pats away the ache held there. It steals my breath. It relieves me of the never-ending pain of being conscious, of being present. I will be taken care of. Every thought is erased with a snap. I'm bestowed by the glorious face approaching me, by the sense of morning dew cradling my senses. The world carries Father to me, stopping him at a distance that could be dwindled into nothing by a mere stretch of my arm. His power is unimaginable. I can taste it on my tongue, feel it in my veins, hear it echoing inside my head. Yet I fight it. No, something else inside me fights him. Fights the hold his godly presence has on me. What are you doing to me?
I apologize. It is my very existence that troubles your soul. Perhaps with greater strength than usual, as you are no child of mine. Gather your thoughts. My influence will pass.
Okay. I close my eyes, denying myself the pleasure of seeing him. Knowing that he's not actively trying to charm me is all the more unsettling. A dangerous thought crosses my emptied mind. What if I gave in to him, to this influence? In my hands, I hold 6 cards. Each card represents one of my beloved children, our trustworthy sovereigns. Let instinct guide you, as each card is infused with tremendous power. They hold the very essence of my children themselves. Or if you will, have your choice be based on cunning and strategy. Act as you please. Know that each one of them offers you protection, understanding, and knowledge. Seize this opportunity as one in a million lifetimes, my dear guest. I face his delightfully overwhelming presence. I can't hold his stare too long. It causes flames to lick at my stomach in a blur of pain and pleasure. Is there anything you would like to add, Lady Althemia Mele? I will do my best to be of use. I'll show you that I have nothing to do with any of this.
Oh, my dear. I know you will.
One of his hands reaches for me with languor and feather-like delicacy in equal measure. My body fervently anticipates his touch. His naked fingers graze my cheek, and it feels as if the sun was kissing my skin. A warm, light touch that soon turns into a searing caress.
I know you will.
Oh! Oh, I found a typo. I found a typo. A shiver runs through me, settling my insides on fire in a mind-numbing mixture of pleasure and unease. It is settled then. Today, you take destiny into your own two hands, for as long as you remain among us. The cards flutter and twirl before they fly away from the cocoon of his hands. They stop right in front of me. 6 perfect pieces of water-thin stone and glass. One for each one of them, just like he said. A myriad of colors and shapes form carefully crafted stained glass images. Etched on the bottom of each card is a title, each more ominous than the last. I just have to pick one up, and then that's it. It's decided. Somehow part of me still hopes that the moment I choose a card, I'll wake up in my bed, that all of this will be nothing but a bad dream. But that's not going to happen. I will fight my way through whatever comes next, no matter what it is. That's my only resolution, my only comfort. I will make them wish they'd sent me home as soon as they saw me. I reach forward, my fingertips hovering over the edge of the cards. The air around them is charged, buzzing with energy. It laps at my skin, beckoning me to choose. And so, I make a decision. Perhaps my final one. No! Oh! Oh, shit! Oh, shit! Thank you so much for playing Lost in Limbo's demo. Please consider supporting us on Kickstarter. Click the icon below. We can't do the Kickstarter yet, but I want to. If you could please... Oh! There was one typo. There was one singular typo, but that is about it. I will let you guys know the time. Oh, the background! Oh my gosh. Whoa, we've been recording for a long time. I was so sucked into it. Holy. I need more. Oh my stars. This is amazing. I loved this. I need more. I need more like right now. I don't even know who I'm going to choose, but I guess I got time to think about who I'm going to choose, huh, Love Pups? Ravenstar Games, this was awesome. Words cannot explain. I'm literally like, I feel like I'm reading a story, but I'm actually in the story. Because, oh my stars, was I actually a part. Oh, there's pictures. Oh, wait. Are these all pictures we can get through the demo or through the full game? Because I think we can get like one of each. I didn't get one of Envy. So guess what that means? That means we gotta play the game again, Love Pups. We gotta play the demo again. I found extras. You guys didn't see me going through it, but that's okay. Oh my start. This literally feels like I'm like reading a book, right? I'm reading a book. And I'm actually in, but the cool thing is I'm in the book because I could feel the tension, the relief, the everything. Oh my stars. Ravenstar Games, thank you so much for sending me this demo out early. And I hope the rest of you guys enjoy this video. Like I said, I will post the links in the descriptions. I will post the links in the descriptions of all we have. And when the Kickstarter goes live, I will update the description to have the Kickstarter's links. But for now, I will see you love pups in the next video. Bye bye.